Evening, Splatooners and Houstonians and all those watching.
Welcome back to SL Splashdown here in downtown Houston, Texas.
Yeah, we've got a lot of travelers from San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas coming here to Houston for this local Splatoon event. And we are here today with a lovely collegiate bracket with 6 different teams from those 4 colleges here to compete in 3 rounds. We have UT Dallas, UT Austin, as well as 2 Texas A&M teams, and then we got 2 home U of H teams.
Who won?
UT.
UT? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
As they break the final checkpoint, it's just the ball point. They are rushing the tower.
On the
But
map,
not enough. Need to get kills
I'm not sure.
immediately.
You're gonna have to fight through the trenches if you want to get all the way back.
There, they will jump. It doesn't matter. They're catching.
Oh my god! Uh-oh, you better watch for that reef slider.
That's a triple. Squishy goes in, gets 1, Jets 2, and a wipeout from the side of H-Down Rebels.
Oh, but that's too. Once they get the momentum going, it's not gonna stop.
What an intense tournament. This high stakes, great games. It was just, wow, what an amazing tournament.
I think that the craziest set just happened.
A bit of an upset, you might say.
Is this gonna be it? They need one more. Come on.
Oh,
They need
yeah.
the
25 1.0.
Mickey Mart were just KO'd.
They are indeed the real deal. Put some respect on their name.
Mark Latex maybe now having a chance to win it all.
Beautiful match by Siku got kicked out.
Up until this point, everybody in here has been competing for something.
Try to run in right there, but picking on the flank. Somebody explain to me how he keeps getting away with it. Getting up there, look at him, right behind, getting a pick out of your wall. Probably gonna get 2.
Anyway, up the
goodness.
gonna get another one.
What a day!
Okay, dive there.
Hey, yo, Russell Wilson, they got up in the Rainmaker. It's just a splash. You got picked. Winning.
If you're in the area, make sure to check out the Discord of Houston Splashdown if you want to participate in this or just to watch us from home. We would really appreciate you guys coming out.
This has been Sunset Surge 2024. This has been the most hype I've ever been in a long time. Well, I'm happy to hear, man. I'm happy to hear.
Introducing the Splatoon LAN Championship Showdown. A tournament where the winners of our favorite locals can face off in an online 8-team double elimination tournament.
I think they get it. That's the game. That's Monkey. Oh my god.
Oh, come on, let's get some hype in here. Come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Oh my goodness. Well, I could say this for everyone, that I'm glad that they saved the best for last, right? I am Pepe. I'm Pepe, a member of TZS, main TO of Sunset Surge. Hello, everyone. I'm here, TZS Podcast, episode number 6. This is a special one. First time having special guests at a podcast, and 3 of them too. So this is a huge deal for us. So if you can, guys, introduce yourselves and who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. I'll take right over here. Hi, I'm ShinyPikmin. You may know me as I don't know. I do a lot of stuff. I'm a coach. I'm a competitive player, Division X player on Monsoon. I love the support weapons. I love supporting Pepe here up at Sunset Surge. I am I don't know. I just do stuff. It's a pleasure to work here. I am an assistant, or I guess I'm going to be staff here coming up for the next tournament. And I also do produce a lot of behind-the-scenes artwork that you guys are maybe seeing later on. None of the posters and stuff like that. I don't do that kind of art, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and I'm Storm. I did some of the video work for Houston and got to compete in it as well. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of here.
Okay, pause. So Storm is a little bit more than just that. Bro's cooked, cooking on shot. Okay, he's really cool, awesome friend. Okay, great teammate, buff Italian guy, as someone said in chat. So, myself, I am Dio. I am currently the one of the head TOs for the Houston LAN.
Yeah, head
All
TO.
the credit. I am not
No,
the head
man.
TO. I'm one of the head TOs. If you, prior to TOing, I used to be a competitive Splatoon player. I played in many teams, mostly in S2, here and there in S3, but not like super seriously. So yeah, that's me.
Oh man, thank you guys for coming in. We have a lot to talk about, truly. In terms of what's going on, like recent events that are happening within like the local land scene. And to start this off, really, I just want to deal between you and I just want to really real quick talk about like what is the backstory behind Sunset Surge and H Town, which I know that was not the original name. You will probably get to that, but like I remember there was another name that you guys were falling under. Yeah, right. Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, what was it? It was the Houston. The Houston, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can go into that story. When I first did that first outreach post on Twitter, I've deleted my account since then, but I put out a post and was like, hey, Houston, Texas people, if I hosted something in Houston, Texas, who would come? And that tweet blew up. And this is like in 2023-ish, like late 2023, I want to say. And so I had one of the University of Houston members make me a logo, and it was like, it's going to be called Houston because it's quirky and fun. So I made that logo. I made a server. It was a thing. It existed. A bunch of people joined, but then I did nothing for like a year, just because I wasn't in the place to be able to do that. I was still a college student. Then comes 2024, and for some reason there was a little bit of activity, especially around the LTC time. So it's around like spring-ish. There was some activity in the Texas server. There is a Texas Splatoon server that isn't the H-Town server that is currently used. And that Texas server is very old. There's actually some history there where, I don't know if this is some old head stuff, but there was a player called Opie. If anybody knows him. They hosted a Splat LAN in 2017. Way back in the day in Texas. I'm pretty sure it was in Dallas. And so that server, that's where that came from. And it was always there. I think it's in the Splatoon crosswalk server. And so there's a little bit of activity. People are talking about LTC. And that's where I met Izzy. Izzy is the other head TO that's done a lot for us. Straight up, H-Town would not exist without Izzy. Because, yes, I'm the face of the tournament and everything like that, but Izzy really was who got the ball rolling. She had a lot of connections in the city. She hooked us up to our venue, who treats us very well. And so at that point, when we were starting to get that first H-Town set up, we needed a name. So initially it was Houston, but that was kind of like my quirky name that I put into it. But we settled on H-Town Splashdown. If it was up to me to pick the name, okay, I'm just put that out there. This would have just been called Houston Splatoon LAN, done deal. Because that's just how I function. I'm very direct. I'm as a human being. I can be creative sometimes, but when it comes to communication, specifically with words, it's very direct. It's to the point. So, yeah, H-Town Splashdown, that was thanks to Izzy and another person that I also need to mention, Danny. Danny was pretty much our creative lead for the entire event. All of the art, the branding, everything, that's her. And it was her and Izzy that created the H-Town Splashdown name. So, yeah.
You see, okay, I wanted to say this here. I love all the names of all the local lands. They have like such awesome, like, I don't know, it's so unique amongst other tournaments that I've seen. But I gotta say, H-Town Splashdown is by far and away one of the most fun names to say, and all around, like, it's it's so good. It's so creative. It very much I think exemplifies the Houston scene, the Texas scene as a whole. So I just wanted to give you guys some a little bit of gas there because I really like that name for a tournament. Sunset Surge is better, but I really do think you guys are like a close third.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, Shiny.
I'm holding back. I'm holding back.
Especially that last comment, Shiny. Like I 100% agree. Like for us, if you want to talk about names,
down.
if we want to talk about names, like I'm gonna show you a bit of names here. So, back when I was thinking about myself, like what could be the name of the Arizona LAN? Like there was, I had my friend Nick, which I will to talk a little bit more so. But like me and Nick, we were like bouncing on ideas. He is one that's like I can easily talk to him and ideas just come out. He was that good friend for me. So we had some here that I'm gonna say right now. We had like Sweat, like Dead Sweat, Sweat Surge, and then on that later end, like we were thinking about Sunset Surge, and we were like, that Sunset sounds pretty cool. We'll put a pin in this, and then we'll see like what other names we come up with, right? So then we started thinking about Cactus. I mean, for Arizona, we're known to have cacti here, right? So we thought about like Saguaro Surge, Grand Canyon too. I mean, Arizona's like known to have Grand Canyon, right? That's like one of the most famous things we have in Arizona.
Wait, Pepe, why Surge? Why is Surge popping up so much?
Yeah, why is it? Yeah.
Why Surge? Well, here I'll answer that real quick. So, sunset. What do you think about a sunset? Sun going down, right, within the horizon. There was a new thing, right, in S3 where if you search, you go up. So, not only is it like a fun like name, like with the double S, like Sunset Surge, but I was like, there's kind of like this deep meaning behind it to where like sunset goes down, but Surge you go up. So it within the way I've been seeing it is like, man, bro, like people may like go down, people may feel like go down. Dude, I've seen people feel down I'll say this like at our land events, but there's always some way that people could like feel better if they look at a different direction, a different perspective. So Sunset Surge, there's downs for sure, but you always gotta make sure you look up.
Yeah, that's like the whole tournament. It's just all downs. Like the song.
No,
yeah,
dude,
that's crazy.
But we go up. We go up at the end. That's what
I mean, no,
that's what we do.
You're exactly right. Like you enter a tournament, right? You are 4 players out of like 60, 80, right? You are one team out of like a whole bunch. The odds of you making it to the end and getting first place is just statistically not in your favor. Like everybody except for like a small portion of people are gonna lose at the tournament. So you gotta find the ups where you are, which is honestly, thanks to Sunset Surge, I mean I don't know if we want to get into this here later on, but just like the community aspects of like all these local tournaments is what I've been loving so much out of recent like 2024, 2025 Splatoon. Like 2024 Splatoon was massive for the local scene. And I think that's where I want to see Splatoon go. Splatoon is a small esport, but it's still an esport. And I just think that all esports start in the grassroots and they start in the local scene. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself here, Pepe.
Yeah, no, like real quick. So, yeah, I won't take long, but like to give ourselves the backstory now of Sunset Surge, right? Let me go back here real quick. So let's go back into the time when Splatoon 3 got announced. But that was September 9th on 2022. Now, this was the time where like within my competitive scene, I was like, I kind of just wanna I want to try a LAN. And fun fact, my first local, not local, my first Splatoon LAN team was with this man, with Dio. Bro, like I remember Big House. Like Big House.
I was your first?
Dude, like you were my first, yeah. Shout out to Luigi and Pork. Like
that's crazy.
Like you were my first teammate at a LAN, and bro, I did ass. I did so ass. Like you can't even imagine. Like I did so horrible, and because it was just my first time like ever trying a LAN, so it was like alien to me, and I had no idea like how like it felt like. And like for me, I've always wanted to see like I just always wanted to feel like how does a Splatoon LAN look like? How does it feel like, and all that? Like I was so curious. I was that one person that was like stalking like all the streams. Like oh, like I see like Riptide and LTC like for Splatoon 2, and I'm like, dude, this is so cool. And like and seeing like vlogs of like people's LAN experience, even back in like S1. I've been always wanting to go to a local LAN. So the fact that like my first LAN team was with Dio, like there's some fate happening there, bro. Because like that's kind of scary a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah. So then that happened for Big House. Later on, my second LAN, it was like in SoCal. Shouts out to all of you guys who may remember this, but if you guys remember, this LAN was called Splat City, flowing in Fullerton. It was like in the Fullerton SoCal area. That's where I met like a few of my teammates, like David and Brian. And then my friend Nick was like right there with me. And TLDR, this LAN was like horrible. Like the TO itself did not even come. Right? There was no kind of like connections whatsoever. Like, dude, like Dio, imagine people just signed up into this tournament, went to the event, came there, no setups, no docks, no Ethernet cables like already plugged in. There's no one in sight, not a TO in sight to be like, how do we play LAN? And that was a question for most, because even for me, like I was like, yeah, like how do we play LAN? Like even though I played with Big House, I was still like very. I did not have the knowledge enough to like know to fully understand how a LAN works, and so I was like, man, like what's going on? And we decided to like play, on the wireless like connection, which that never goes well. It is just horrible. So imagine me dragging Nick. I had to like forcefully drag my friend Nick with me to like come play with me because we needed like a fourth. But me driving with Nick like around 6 hours, to SoCal, to just end up not being able to play like at a LAN, and we stay like at some like really like shady Airbnb. Like I was that desperate. So like I want to play like at a LAN. On the drive back, that's when I was like, if like I just got inspired. That event was so bad that I was like, Nick, dude, I can do better. I know that Arizona can have something. Arizona has the capabilities of like, being something. And I don't know why I had that feeling necessarily, but like I was just so honing into the idea that like I'm going to make this happen. And I was like telling Nick like, hey, like I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have like maybe like the squid like be like very hot and sweaty, because like we're in Arizona, we're like fire, all that like, and so all the talks about graphics and all that was being done on the drive back. Literally, I was just talking to Nick, and Nick was like, yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. But then shout out to him because he was the first one who did my Splatoon search like designs and logo and all that amazing stuff. But there is a specific Twitter tweet. Dio, I can relate to you on this. So there is a tweet that I made, Kraken, if you can pull it up, that also blew up, and it was from that tweet alone that I was like, wow, there is like something huge that could happen. Moments before I made the tweet, like I went to a gaming convention here in Arizona called Game on Expo that year, 2023, and like I met up with like Andrea and Bo, the owners of Campfire Esports, which unfortunately they're not in business anymore. But huge shout outs to them. Like they are like my easy for you guys. Like if it wasn't for them, like none of our lands would not be possible. But yeah, like as you can see here, like this was like the initial teaser was like, you know what, let's try it with some stolen graphics that I did. Like, well, I composited the image, but like I stole all that. Like I cannot make that. But yeah.
Pepe,
So
that
that
image
has
takes me back. I just need to say that. Like I know this is April 23rd, 2023. That's almost 2 years ago now. That image takes me back. Oh my
and then
goodness.
like Kraken, if you scroll down, like you see all the people here. Banana, like shout out to like Power and Vic. Yeah, but like, yeah, like these scoops. I know Snipecrab will be there somewhere, but like all these people are like now we know them.
I didn't respond.
It's great. But yeah, no, it's amazing. Like
oh my
it's just
goodness.
amazing. Like what experiences you come to that end up like you're now apparently like hosting a LAN tournament, right? It's just insane. So that's the backstory on our end.
I'm still in the original, like before it was a server, it was a group chat. I'm still in the original 10-person group chat.
Yeah, we made a 10-person group chat with like a bunch of like other like Arizona people, and yeah,
That's crazy.
Wow.
it was awesome. So Dio, going into this now, like I want to ask you like specifically like, I'm curious, like what inspired to like make you make your own LAN on your own in your hometown?
Sure. So this is actually a really long story. It goes back to the Splat 1 era. Splat 1, Houston did have locals. Locals weren't as popular. Splatoon wasn't as popular. It wasn't, this bigger thing. So 2016, a group of Tekken players in the area were like, hey, we're going to host a Splatoon. And it was all advertised on Facebook back then. And me, being a huge Splatoon fanatic, I would search up local Splatoon all the freaking time. Like, often. Because I was always interested. And I was only, like, 13, 14 at the time. I was young. But I was, I wanted to play Splatoon. I wanted to make friends in the community in person. That was always a desire for me. And so I got to enjoy that first local. There was, like, 2 in 2016. There was another one when Splatoon 2 came out, hosted by Opai, here in Houston. And that was an experience. It was very sketch. It was hosted alongside a Smash local at a warehouse that didn't have any permits. And so the fire marshal was called on us. Anyways, it was a whole thing. But, I was always already attending locals, and I was always in tune with what was going on. And during Splatoon 2, we had that one in 2017 when the game came out, and then there was nothing. Harvey did hit Houston, Texas in 2017. And so that did kind of like throw a wrench in all of the plans, because they had other locals planned as well, but everybody's life got, pointed in different directions. And so the people that were in leadership back then weren't in a place to be able to continue hosting stuff, and they eventually lost motivation. So that comes to 2019. 2019, I graduate high school. I'm starting college, and I wanted to host a local. I had no idea what it would take to host a local, but I wanted to host a local. And so I already mentioned that there was this existing player base in Houston. So I reached out and I said, hey, look, if I found a venue, if I found a place, we brought monitors, we brought switch docks. Who wants to go to a LAN? There was a couple people that were interested, right? It was, a handful of people. It wasn't as big as it would be nowadays. But I always had that interest. It was always in my mind of just like reinvigorating what was already once there. And I always had the interest of there being an in-person Splatoon community, because it existed once. I was like, this is great. This is awesome. I want more. 2017, I start college. 2019, sorry. 2019, I start college. I was broke college kid. I can't host a LAN. I'm not in a position to host a LAN. I'm also very young. And so I wasn't in a place in my life to be able to do any of that. COVID hit the next year. Again, another wrench in our lives. Come 2022. A lot of the COVID stuff is over by now. Splatoon 3 is announced. I think it was announced in 2021, actually. But 2022, it was like the hype started to get much bigger. I started to go back to college in person, because I was doing online for 2 years pretty much. And when I went back in person, I was like, I want to get some Splatoon in college, right? I'm in college now. It's a great environment to find other Splatoon players. And so, slowly but surely, I started to grow a presence for Splatoon within my college. So I actually founded the University of Houston Splatoon Club, which still exists, still very active up to this day. And my plan at the time comes the release of Splatoon 3 in 2023. I wanted to host a LAN in some capacity within the university. That was going to be my initial objective. But there were many challenges through taking that approach. A lot of it was logistical, because we technically had the resources. You could host it in a computer lab, because the computer monitors are good enough specs to plug in Splatoon. They're not gaming monitors, but it's good enough. But anyways, University of Houston just wasn't the best venue. And so last year I was getting very close to graduating. I was only going part-time in 2024. And when that conversation with Izzy sparked, it was like, oh, I wished it was Splatoon in Houston. I was like, I jumped in. I was like, Splatoon already exists in Houston. University of Houston has an active club. We have like 4 teams in the CCA. It's huge. It's huge. We need an event. We need an event. And I was like, poured in my energy that, you know, if you've ever been around me at a LAN, you know what my energy is like when I'm talking about Splatoon. Poured that energy, you know, in that conversation with Izzy. And the thing with Izzy is like, we're both, I would say, very ambitious people. You know, like we're always trying to one up each other. And so I would say one idea was like, oh, it'd be cool if we hosted a meetup, Splatoon meetup. And then, oh, you know, Splatoon meetup, that's kind of small. You know, what if we did it like a whole event, you know, Splatoon event? I have like monitors and setups and everything. I was like, well, let's do one step better. Let's do a tournament. Splatoon tournament. Obviously, competitive players at Splatoon, you make a tournament. And then the tournament became, you know, like, oh, let's do a production, a stream, let's have art, graphics, posters, all of these things. And, you know, it's just like, it's this snowball effect through that conversation just because there's so much, like, energy and excitement regarding Splatoon. And this is, like, back when Splatoon 3 was, like, peak excitement. Everybody, it was still new. Everybody was enjoying LANs. There's still updates and everything like that. I know it's dulled down. Definitely not dead. But it's definitely dulled down at this point. And so there was a lot of excitement. So this was like early 2024 or late 2023, somewhere around there. And then, you know, over the next few months, over the spring, we got everything ready. We connected to a venue that Izzy knew because she had a friend who hosted FGC at this one place. We reached out to the place. They were awesome, by the way. I would love to talk about our venue because our venue supports us a lot. I don't think we would have grown to the size that we've grown now without the venue enabling us. Because they were just like, shit, we got these people who want to host tournaments for free, and they got all this energy and they're willing to do all this. So it was just like they would never say no to anything that we said. They were like, oh, you want to do this? Yes. Even though they host larger events because they're mainly a trading card game venue. They host like Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals with like 800 plus people. When they go and see, Splatoon people, they say that they can get at least 20 people, which is, you know, our initial pitch was like, yeah, we can get at least 20 people to show up. They're like, hell yeah, we got the monitors, we have the roof, the electricity, we got some switch docks. Do it. And then our first event, we hit almost 50 people, and it's like,
wow.
Whoa.
Incredible. Like,
yeah, that's
people on your first ever. That's crazy.
Yeah. So Storm wasn't there for that, but
No.
I might be getting ahead of myself talking about the first event. I don't know. Do we want to segue into that, Pepe? I think it's.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say because I thought that Storm was in the first one, but no, we can definitely talk about our first event going into this next topic.
Yeah. Our first event was hosted on a Tuesday night, 7 p.m. The place closes at like 11.
Remember the Tuesday? Oh man! Oh
yeah.
Yo, it started at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun.
We were initially in the mindset of like, this is gonna be a test run. We're stress testing what the turnout could be. 50 people showed up on a Tuesday.
Dude, on a Tuesday.
There were people driving. Yeah. Like, you guys don't understand. Pika from Louisiana drives like the 6-hour drive for a local on a Tuesday at 7. It was super scuffed. Yeah, and like with that in mind, we were not ready to host a almost 50 person event. Like setups wise, the venue didn't understand what we needed. And so we pretty much had like 2 working setups. They were all connected to one router. And it was like the cable management was terrible. We had one cable going like across the room. It was hectic. It was chaotic. So many delays. And because like it was on a Tuesday, we didn't have enough time to set up because we're all coming from work and everything. And so it was just a crazy day. But it did, spark this like community essentially, because a lot of the people that were there were like, "Hey, this is cool. I wish it was a better event, but this is cool." And they like, it was a big wake up call to show us how many people are passionate and interested about Splatoon in Texas, because we had a lot of people, not just in Houston, show up for that event. And yeah, that was like a huge learning curve. It was, yeah, that first event.
Wasn't that the reason why we got the Saturday time slot? Is because 50 people showed up on a weekday?
So our venue was like, whoa, you guys aren't just like a small little thing. You guys are literally bigger than some of our TCGs. Like, we're bigger than their Pokemon presence for Pokemon TCG. We're bigger than their Smash. Like,
awesome.
Their Smash gets like 15 people every week or every month, whatever.
Dude, incredible.
Yeah, and so they're like, damn, this shit's serious. And so when we talked about it after the event, we had a very long meeting of like, they realized the ambition that we had and how for us to match that ambition, they needed to give us more. So they gave us the Saturday time slot, which is the entire day. We started talking about a lot more things like stream, production, space equipment, everything that we need for a LAN to be as exciting as it can be. Started talking about all of that.
Yeah. No, dude, Dio, I can resonate with you a lot in terms of like what happens, when you host a LAN for the first time, right? So for me, like after my story about like, oh, I want to do all this, after the drive back from that one LAN that just did not work whatsoever, I was just so passionate. For those who like you really do know me, that like I've been talking to, such as Shiny, like there is an even like deeper lore about it, but I will get into that specifically. But like there was just something that just like clicked in me. Like I just wanted like Arizona to be heard. Like I wanted Arizona, like ever since the beginning, to just be like loud and proud for like who we are, and like just show off that like, hey, there's something here in Arizona. Because my one question that I've always had like throughout the entire time, and Deal, I there's so much that I can relate to you on this. Just having that passion, right? In my mind, I was like, I'm like the only person that plays Splatoon like in my state, right? Like, there's no other person that like plays this game, right? Like, it felt like it felt like that way for like a long time, and so there was a spark. There was just so much passion that I wanted to show off. So here's where the trailer will pop up with a Kraken showing off that first Sunset Surge trailer. There was a huge inspiration in my mind, and I was like, how could I possibly make this LAN in Arizona look hype, right? And so in my mind, I come from a background of like doing film production and whatnot. So literally my first trailer of Sunset Surge, I wanted to show off, boom, it's great. And also you see the sunset in the background and Scourge Gorge. Like literally, like having themes and like having like some kind of like a visual of like, this is Arizona, our sunset. This being our first LAN tournament ever. I wanted to make sure like this was like a huge deal with all the sunsets and whatnot. Like this was like a 3 to 4 day like worth of like using the drone to like get all those like sunset like footage. Like literally like all the stuff here, and then you see here the search that is happening. Boop boop search. So literally everything that happened. I have not yet revealed the title. Boom, Sunset Search is there. So yeah, and July 23rd, 2023. I will never forget that day, because while I may had a lot of passion going into this, one may say the first tournament, the first LAN, did not go as well as I would have planned it, right? Like
I will say, I've definitely forgotten that first date from mine. Like, I want to forget that day and bury that memory like deep down. Just yeah.
So like, oh man, so as much as how passionate I was I was pretty much a one-man show, like a one-man band. Like I was getting everything all situated with like the esports arena, and by like one man band, I like of course I had help. Like I had like again Andrea and Bo, who were like the owners of Campfire Esports, that were there to like give us the opportunity to host a LAN at the venue. And real quick, like kind of a similar thing to your NDO, to where like Sunset Search ended up becoming big. Now, not as big as like yours, because like for us, our first event, we only had 34 attendees, and it was not until
Okay, Pepe, only 34 attendees. That is 34 individual people who came out to that
That's true.
turn.
You know what? I'll give that credit. That's true. I guess like in comparison to what Dio mentioned, because like when I heard 50 as the first like local, and I'm like, bro, it was only until the 1 year anniversary, like 1 year later, after doing all these like LAN tournaments, that we've gotten over 50 people. So in terms of like us doing LANs, which was seasonal, we only had like around 30-ish like attendees. But yes, to give that credit, I mean, hell, like there are people like I want to give a huge like shout out to Sniker, because this man, like this man lives. I'm not gonna dox him, but like okay, he lives like 2+ hours away from Arizona, right? And so him having to travel every single time, he has not missed like a single Sunset Search ever since the first one. Like I was like, man, like you're crazy, because I did the same thing. But like it's just insane to like do think about, and it's something that like I have been trying to get better at, like just making sure that I'm aware that people do care, right? But going into the first Sunset Search, man, this was a special one. Not only because it was the first one, that's where like I got to meet so many of the faces like I know now. Like it's that memory will always stick to me. But as a TO side, I was, oh my goodness, I was such a mess. Like it was such a wreck with like having we wanted to start like at 2 p.m. We started like way later. I think it was like 3 or 4. Like it's
Hey,
a
Pepe,
2 hour delay.
Before we start that, I got a question. How many hours did you get before that LAN of sleep?
Oh, sleep. Oh man. Oh goodness. So yeah, a thing about me, I don't usually sleep before the hosting a LAN. It's not because I'm like I don't want to, just more so because I'm just thinking about like what could go wrong, like what could go wrong, and it happens
If I'm
every
looking
single
at my
time. Like
posters real quick, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coming soon. So for 6 tournaments, 6 LANs that you, for the bulk of those, hosted yourself, you went 0 hours of sleep before
look,
running a
it was
one-man
extremely
show.
worth it. Hey, it was extremely worth it.
Oh
Like, call me crazy because I am. Like,
You're
like
crazy.
only someone that crazy would like do all this. Like,
Yeah.
you know, in quotations, by themselves. I do a lot, like in terms of like doing the tournaments. And my goodness, Shani, I'm glad that like I have you, like DJ, and like Fufu, like as part of like the main staff, like I've had to just like help me out with pushing Sense Search to like a bigger degree, because like I would not be able to like do this by myself anymore. It's kind of a lot. But yeah, the first LAN, like I said, the stream stuff like went. It just was not working. The LAN connections was like not it. Like it was like nothing. What like I was so confident. Like yeah, like this will work. Like the LAN connections here, the wire cables were like some cheap adapters that I made my friend Captain Stabby buy. It's not his fault. And then within this event, we only had like 2 TM1s each, like costing like over $200 on eBay. Like
only had. How rare are those TM1s again?
Oh, they're very rare.
Do you guys have?
0.
I have 6 in my.
That's not.
Like...
I was gonna say that's not a Dio issue. Those are rare. Come on, Pepe. You had a full setup that had a perfect stream, like a Riptide level audio. Okay, so you're a little crazy. Go on. I just wanted to
like.
Thank
you. I literally have like 6 TM1s like in my like IRL lockers with me right now. It is insane. Yeah, no, they're just there. Like 6 TM1s. They could do 3 full.
It's 3 full setups. He's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, yeah. Each TM1, you need 2 TM1s.
Yes, for like a full lobby. Yep.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's insane. So knowing all this, right, about our first Sunset Surge event, which again, I feel like for most after talking to them, sure, they're not as the quality as they are now. But I appreciate those who like keep telling me like, yeah, they appreciate the fact that Arizona even has one. Could you guys guess? Like, I'm curious. Just guess for me, how, like, when grand finals ended. I'm not talking about like, oh, like when I was like off from the venue, or like when I was like starting to wrap up. When did like grand finals end? I'm curious to see like your guys' guess.
You start at 3 or 4.
I heard 11:30 and then 3 or 4. I'm assuming that's
What?
AM, not PM.
No, I'm saying, did you guys start at 3 or 4? That's what
Oh.
you said.
I'm
right?
gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4. It was definitely
Okay.
like around 4.
11:30.
Okay.
I would say there's no shot you go over 10:30.
Oh goodness.
So
yeah, you go ahead, Shiny. Go ahead.
we ended at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Grand finals concluded at 2 a.m. I was on commentary. I'm not sure if anybody has ever watched it back, but like that
Insane.
2 a.m. is when grand finals finished. The final KO. Final scores.
And this is at Campfire Esports, right?
This is like Campfire Sports.
They were chill with it. They were like, yeah, 2 a.m.
Dude, like I was so shocked too. I was like, man, like I'm now in close, like I'm really good friends with both of the owners. Like they're great people. I've house at like their house ones. Like they're great. So like I honestly don't know like how they even like accept like a 2 a.m. ending time. Right? It was insane. Like. Dude, I felt so bad. Like, if you guys know OBT, like he's a great guy. Like he's amazing. He literally walked up to me and he's like, "Hey, bro, why are we ending at 2 a.m.? The fuck?"
like the most like chiller. He's such a great guy. No, he was just okay. I also want to point out the fact that Campfire Esports was hosted in Surprise, Arizona. That means nothing to people. A very I guess the most populated area in Arizona tends to be Phoenix, Tempe. It's where you find a lot of people around like the Splatoon demographic. There's Tucson to the south. There's Flagstaff to the north. Surprise is like 45 minutes out from like the center of the state. So for the people who had to drive up from Tucson, that's like 2.5 hours. Coming in from. I mean, actually, I think I had somebody come in from like the Flagstaff area up north, and they had to crash over at our place because it was just there for so long. And then I from my house, like I live in like effectively like the epicenter of the demographic of Splatoon. And me and my roommate had to drive out like I think it was like 50 minutes to there, so it ended at 2 a.m. and we just to drive 50 minutes back home. Which shout out to DJ who's watching this right now. This was
50 minutes.
First, like 50. Okay. Yes, because Surprise is in nowhere. It was awesome. And
Okay, I don't think you guys understand how big Houston is.
Yeah. Okay.
I live in Houston.
Oh well, yeah.
The venue is in Houston. It is 50 minutes away from my house.
Still 50 minutes?
Yes.
Oh my god! Wait, what?
Yes.
It's all the traffic and just the way. Yeah, it's a lot.
My goodness.
Say something.
Yeah.
But
no, people that go to our events complain about the location because it's like it's in one of the lesser populated areas of Houston. It's like southeast, whereas a lot of people in Houston live towards the west. So it's like it's still Houston.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like this is like a different like outskirt city in the metropolitan area of the Houston. No, it's Houston. Shit's far. It's
and you
far.
still see the flatlands. There's no mountains.
No, there's no mountains. No, no.
At least
There's
we have that.
No
though.
hills. No mountains. That doesn't exist.
Just flat.
It's flat.
I wanted to talk for a second here, if you don't mind, Pepe, just about like the competitor side, right? You've already given your background from the TO side. I want to Storm after this year.
Yes.
But Sunset Surge, when it first got announced, when you first dropped the tweet, I remember losing my mind because I'm not sure if you knew this actually. Here's some hidden lore. Back in 2018, I want to say. My mother is a professor at a local college. And as such, sometimes I just, whenever I was sick, I like to, attend your classes because staying at home is boring, and it's fun to be like that. That's a cool dog.
Doggy shiny.
It's not my mother. That's a photo unrelated. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry.
Doggy.
Sorry, there was a dog
There's
thing
a
that should have
dog
been
Production
from the
Kraken.
art
At it
guy.
again.
Either way, what I was saying though is I was in my mother's class, and all of a sudden I look at like this poster, and it's like Splatoon 2 tournament at the college, and I was like, what? So apparently somebody else in Arizona had tried to start an Arizona LAN for Splatoon sometime in like 2017, 2018. And I never went, unfortunately. I missed it by just a little bit. I was so, can you believe it? At that time, I was like nervous to meet new people, and I just wasn't like, confident. And I know, crazy. Coming with the person who,
I relate to that. I relate to that. It's a
gonna
good
say, coming with the person like shit talk Dio frame one getting into this call. Which is kind of funny.
It's true.
But no,
True story.
there used to be another. Apparently, somebody had tried in the past, and I really want to find out who. But either way, Pepe releases the tweet, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. During this time, I'm like, DJ, my roommate, we just moved into a house. We're like, oh, let's go. Like, you play Splatoon, like, let's go. And it was so much fun being able to like go to a place where like people just, I don't know, everyone there got Splatoon, and I love that because Dio, you mentioned before, like H-Town, like part of the huge motivation from it was coming off of the pandemic, coming off of no LANs for Splatoon at all. So that social connection was very much needed.
Yes. Yes, that was a
and
huge driver. Yeah.
It was kind of fun because I'd never met Pepe before, ever. I never knew who this man was.
Yeah.
I
was a
believe
nobody.
we had like yeah, we had like this test fire event for it where we like went to go test out all the setups at campfire, and like I think
Yes.
8 people showed up. And I remember like thinking, I had an ego. I have an ego. And I was like, I'm
You
pretty good at Splatoon. I'm probably like, one of the best players in the state. Like, this is people are talking about like, Simo, like Simo, he's pretty good and everything. But like, I'm pretty good, I gotta say. And I rolled to this event, just like looking to have fun, just really looking to enjoy Splatoon. And I remember it was on Manta Maria. We were just like playing
Manta
this
Maria.
random test thing. And people were like, yeah, Pepe's Zukas are pretty good. I'm like, yeah, let's see what Pepe has. And I remember at one point, I was taking a 1v1 with him. I think I was on ballpoint, he was on shot. And I took a 1v1 with him, and I died. And I was like, wait, this guy's good. I was like, wait, this guy's good at the game. And this is, no, he's cooking. Because like this is when I was like still on Cherry Limeade, and it was a very popular team at that point. And I'm still very grateful that everyone was like, oh my god, Shiny Cherry Limeade, like it's so cool, and I'm very happy about that. And Pepe was like, I am your biggest fan, Shiny. Give me a hug. And
Wait,
he
no,
was
no,
just
no,
like-
wait, hold on. I knew about you. I didn't say I was your biggest fan.
You
Now
seemed
that sounded good.
ecstatic. You were like,
I was so
almost
excited.
out
Don't
of
get
Pepe
me
has
wrong.
that energy to him. No, like when
Yeah,
he meets
that
people, he's just like so bubbly and.
no, Pepe. was just
I completely
incredibly
understand what you're saying.
nice.
Yeah.
No, it just meeting Pepe for the first time, I'm like, how can somebody like this exist? Just flat out exist. And I'm just like, yeah, like I'm so grateful you are working so hard to host this LAN and everything. Like this is just I was so grateful for Pepe, and Pepe's like, you're shiny from. I'm like, I just press buttons well. You're doing literally everything like about this thing, but it was at that moment when I fought him, and I was like, wait a second, this guy's good. And it was like, I don't know. I can talk more about like, I guess the Sunset Surge history, but like that was like at least one of my best memories from the original one. The test fire being like, holy shit, Pepe's so cool. Holy shit, this local scene exists, and all these people are so passionate about the same thing that I'm passionate about as well. Getting to commentate, my first ever time commentating. I was so nervous to talk about it. I played on a team with some friends, and it was so awesome to like see like Hammer from Kingmaker and Jojo and Saber, like all of these
Man.
Kingmaker, the triple brush team, just rolled up to Sunset Surge and got second place. I'm pretty certain.
Got second place in the first
He got
one.
second
Yeah.
place. But I'm
With
like,
the monsoon
like,
season winning first place.
Monsoon season winning first place. Yeah, no, it was so cool. And that I was okay. Little thing about me, I was gonna retire at that time because Cherry Limeade had ended, and I was like, or at least on its way out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in college, like I'm in my final semester of undergrad, and I'm like, I gotta focus on this stuff here. So like, Low Tide City was my last LAN. I'm just gonna go for fun for Sunset Surge, and then we're playing, and then we finish it, and I'm like, oh no, I I think I'm back, and I think Pepe single-handedly pulled me out of retirement thanks to this tournament that happened. And then next thing I know, I'm driving over to the SoCali area playing in that tournament, and then looks like it's just a one-time thing. I'm back at Riptide 23. It's no big. That's wrong. I'm going to Riptide, and it's like I don't know. I have to thank Pepe and Sunset Surge as a whole for like keeping me back in this competitive. I mean, look at all the posters I have behind me. Like most of those are like from post retirement era. Not to mention, of course, like all of the Sunset Surge posters that we've had. Like each poster being a different one as well. Like the amount of effort that goes into this kind of thing. It's incredible. It is. Oh, pardon me. It is just simply amazing. Yeah, I just want to speak my piece from a competitor's point of view. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. Like earlier, you had mentioned like the Sunset Surge being like going from I don't feel too great to like, oh man, like this is awesome. Like I feel like for me, every time I go home from a LAN, I always have like the post LAN motivation. And it's like, oh, I was planning on stopping playing the game, but you know what? Actually, I do kind of enjoy playing the game, and I do enjoy interacting with other people. And so at the time, whenever H-Town Splashdown was starting, I was on the team with Dio, Yellow Jackets, and we had kind of been playing. We started phasing out after Riptide, or up to Riptide is when we started to kind of phase out. And we had been talking about, hey, you're hosting this event. I really want to go to it. And the first one, he was like, maybe wait till the second one since it's on a Tuesday night. It's a little difficult to go to.
I was telling people not to go. I'm being dead ass. I was telling people don't show up to this. There are too many people signed up.
I'm not from Texas. I'm from Arkansas. And so it would have been a little bit of a drive for me to take on a Tuesday night. And also, thanks to, I think it was IPL that ran the State v State tournament a couple of years
ago.
Rumble.
Yep,
oh my goodness.
Right, the first Region Rumble that was going on.
Yeah, before that, I tried to host an event in Central Arkansas, and I think we had like maybe 10 people show up. And the only person that was a competitive player was Spectre, if you remember her from the old Splatoon 1 days.
Oh,
wow. I remember.
And so like I was just thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to this event. And I'm the only Splatoon player in Arkansas. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait a minute. We had a whole like tournament dedicated where we had at least 4 players. And so I started hitting up some people, and actually Parachu was the first one to reach out to me in this instance. And he was like, dude, you going? And so got to drive down with him, and that was awesome getting to chat with him all the way down to Houston. And then even like the first day of getting to Brave's house, because we stayed at Brave's house, it got to meet Pika, got to meet Brave there. And then the first night, and this is my favorite part about LANs, not even the LAN itself. It's like getting to hang out during or like after or before the event, the people around you. Like we just played, I think Kirby Air Rider, I think on the GameCube. I don't remember. It was my first time playing.
Pika bring that?
No, Pika didn't bring it. Brave already had it, but they were destroying us at it.
Yeah, Pika's gotta crack that game.
Yeah. Pika literally went, you have it? No way. And then, shout out to Pika. And then whenever the tournament actually started, kind of like how Shiny was saying, like I walked in there and I'm like, bro, I don't know anybody. I kind of feel like, and that was the second H-Town Splashdown. So I had my camera with me. I was like, I don't want to be like a creep going up and like, hey, I'm taking a video of you. But then after you get to talking with some people and just notice that like they're just like you just start clicking and you get to just feel more comfortable with one another. And then that's when you start, I think the motivation starts to build up of like, this is truly all, like this is what makes the scene great.
Yeah, the tournament's cool. I mentioned at the beginning, right? You enter with a team of 4 players, and you are just statistically unlikely. It's just so low that the average player would make it to the very end. And that's what it is for me too, Storm. I love being able to be like, wait, everybody around me, they're just like me, and being able to like have, I don't know, a group. I've met so many amazing people. like from Splatoon.
We have Shiny.
know,
Oh my
we
goodness.
have
If
Pepe.
you're talking about Arizona alone, like
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but our community is like, dude, I cannot have asked for like all these people out here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like
I
close.
was supposed to hate on you
Yeah?
guys,
Yeah?
but from an outside view looking in, that is the thing about Sunset Surge that I'm like really jealous about, because I see like the community engagement that you guys have.
Mhm.
I don't see any other Splatoon community have anything like that.
That's
I don't know.
true,
Like,
yeah.
I could be wrong, but like even compare it to like to the New York lands. You go into the New York Discord server, they're not as like social as you guys. And I don't mean like as in how friendly they are or anything like that. It's just like there's just so much activity going on in Arizona. People are hanging out. There's always like people playing on a weekly basis in like the VCs. I see that all the time, and I'm like, that's insane. That's insane.
I appreciate your deal. Like I'm gonna add like this thing real quick. I truly believe like there is potential. Like literally every single LAN can have this, and I think it just takes a lot of like it takes effort truly to like make sure that everyone feels involved, right? For me, like when I started like Sunset Search, one of the things that I told myself is like, I'm gonna make it my goal to play with every single Splatoon player here in Arizona at least once. Like I'm not gonna be playing with like every single one like consistently, right? But I'm gonna make it my goal to be like, hey, in DMs, like, do you just like want to play? Let's hang out in the VC, and legitimately, I think just doing that with as many people as I possibly could in that server just gave a domino effect of like, oh, you can just do this. You can just ask. You can ping and be like, hey, can I play with you? And after doing that for like so many like other like so many people, and then having like people that are recognizable, like Shiny, like having us there, like for those like that like sees our servers, like the moment that like there's just a certain like amount of people there like that are in the VC, like it just gets flooded with like a bunch of people in the VC, and yeah, like like I said, so many locals have this potential, but I just feel like there needs to be a push of like, hey, like I understand that like I may not be able to that I'm not gonna be playing with you this as often as I get, but the chance like I have this opportunity to spend time with you, and I think that's what that means a lot. And I think like me coming in as a TL is like, oh, how can I do all this and still have time for people? Like, I literally just schedule time for people, and so that's honestly like my tip, like to like every like one of you guys to just like if you want something like how we do, like you just gotta make the effort, because it's not just about like, oh, like we like the same game, cool. No, like I like to like hear about people's career, people's like life stories, and just be there for those people.
And I wanted to like actually bounce off that too as well, Pepe, because I love Splatoon. Everybody watching this stream hopefully loves Splatoon one way or another. When I was first started getting into competitive sports, I was super big into Smash back at my high school, and I used to grind Smash a lot. And the thing that I always disliked was when you'd go to tournaments and everything, like for the most part, like the top players, the best players had their own like little circle, and like there was very much like almost like clicks based on your skill level of play, right? And going into Sunset Surge, I knew that I was popular carrying the Cherry Limeade name behind me, but like I wanted to just like say I don't care. It's what Pepe mentioned, right? Like, I was so much more just amazed, and I just wanted to learn more about each individual person there, why they loved the game, what do they do outside of the game, because like we were brought together, we're united by the medium of this game, where like the better you are at the game, the more recognition you tend to get. Like in a competitive vacuum, that's kind of just how it works. But I wanted to just be the high level competitive player that I never got to see in other communities. And that's why I wanted to just like with Pepe, I just wanted to talk to people. I just wanted to like be there. I just wanted to hang out, and I wanted to just be like, I play the game well, but like I'm more than that. You're a better artist than me. You're better than like like you are just so much more talented than I am that I could ever wish to be in like your own niche. And it's been so enjoyable to try and meet more people like that and just talk with them and just break the bounds of like popularity, because I don't really see people as popular anymore, because I'm like, if you think about someone's popular, like, yeah, they're just another human. Like that doesn't mean jack all to me at all. So that was one of the reasons. That's one of the biggest things that I love about Sunset Surge. One of the things that I try to push for myself is I just talk with people. We all have our own friend groups and everything, but like I just wanted to push just talking. Look at that. Oh, well, is that on stream? Kraken.
It's on stream.
I don't know anymore.
Oh,
Put it on
Kraken is
stream,
gonna
guys.
show it. Okay, Kraken's gonna show it real quick.
Producer Kraken just told Shiny to stop talking. That's what I just heard.
That's true. And you know what? Kind of bait.
And that he loves Shiny.
Yes, but this is just one of the reasons. Again, just to glaze this a little bit more. Thank you all for everyone who ever shows up. Everybody who's ever talked to the server. I try my best, like make a memory to like play. And you can see obviously all the Sunset Surge, Camp Horror, and Cab and Go, the three. Just main tournaments that we had in 2023. But all around those, like right above me, for instance, right? Like this was over here. Like this was at my family. This was like a Christmas, I think. And there's Pepe over here.
That was
There's like
Thanksgiving,
Pep,
Shiny,
there's-
because I worked at Amazon at the warehouse
Yeah.
for like 12 hours, and then you were like, you know what? Are you free to like come to a dinner? I'm like, oh, like this was like me after being done at Amazon. Like, oh, I'm so tired, and then I was just so happy to like be invited,
Yeah.
like at your family dinner.
And like my birthday party, when I'm like, you know what? We're the community of Splatoon people. We have a big backyard. Let's just say shiny birthday. Show up if you wanna. Don't care about presents. And people showed up, and we had a bonfire a few days later. Like, and I think that's just where it started. It really was just like I was like, screw it. Whoever wants to show up, you guys can just show up. And that's what kicked off like bonfires that happen. There are plenty of meetups that happen outside of it. We have plenty of, oh my God, we have like a Japanese festival that a bunch of people showed up to just recently. We have the Ren Festival happening in like 2 weeks that there's like 20 plus people already like interested in for. It really is just as simple as just doing it. And obviously it's harder in big states, Arizona, we are lucky to be small
I
and
can't even
mighty.
imagine. Like
But,
not only like
yeah.
in bigger states, but like in states too, where like I guess it's harder to have like that kind of like big group of people to like meet up. But I mean, like truly, I mentioned like how like I was there to like be very welcoming and like have that kind of like just environment to where like I wanted to like see people and most importantly like get like really hype about my people winning stuff, right? So and
Really
all that
hype
like
is
I
it.
really I thank Dio because like legitimately if I were to like not for one like been my first LAN teammate, I would have like not known how to like wow like you are open to be hype about this, like you can be hype about like
dude.
people winning
Dude.
and like you don't care about like what other people think and like at the end of it it just makes the event that more memorable, like meaningful to those who like who win, who are participating in it, and me doing that to those who like at SoCal, specifically that's something when he was playing like blah blah blah. Like I still remember that, and when he mentioned that back to me and like how much it meant to him, I'm like, wow, like Dio was right. Like literally just be hype. People will remember that, and it means so much to them.
So I think that's where just our personalities differ. Just because, like with you, Pepe, you're just so friendly, so bubbly, so approachable. I think like the Sunset Surge LAN is defined by that personality. Just because, look at the community and just how vibrant it is and everything. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's a really wholesome thing to have. And genuinely, everybody in Arizona, y'all are lucky to have Pepe. But for me, me personally, I'm a bit more. I would say a social porcupine. Like I don't really like people get close. I can be very abrasive, and that's just the truth. But the thing is, like, I just got so much energy, and like everything about Splatoon is awesome and exciting. And I remember sitting in LTC 2023. Okay, it's my first LTC. First LAN, actually. It's my first LAN ever. Really? And for those who were there, I know it was one of the smaller attendance LANs. LTC 2023, Spanish and Splatoon were all in the same room. So we were all off to the side, and then right next to us was Melee. And, the stages were all, like, next to each other. I can't really think of a LAN that was like that, but yeah, it was pretty unique. It was very, very different. And so the stages were right next to each other. We were right next to Melee. The Melee crowd was, like, right to our left. And they're just chanting. They're like singing. They're singing the Dreamland song, and they're like yelling profanities because that's how Melee is. Like that's their energy, that's their vibe. And then Splatoon, just like crickets. It was like a match ended. We got like golf claps, and that was like that was the energy. And I was like, this is so boring. This is so lame. Like they literally have like groups in Melee or like pools, whatever, and it's just like random players that nobody knows is on stage. It's not like, it's not like Hungry Box versus fucking Zane or whatever. Like I don't know. It's not anything like special. It's just some random people, and they're just yelling for like no reason, and I just felt so jealous. Like in that moment, I felt so like, guys, look at ourselves. Why are we so quiet? Why is it like this? And so like over the course of that weekend, I tried to just like get all of the excited Splatoon people, just be like, yo, yell, get some energy out here, get some noise. Like Skep was there. Skep was like, that's the first time I ever interacted with Skep. I start yelling, Skep starts yelling, and it's just like, yes. And I got my, some other people that I knew, like, it's like, you guys got to join the hype squad. Come to the front. Come yell, like, off the top of my head, I know Delta was there, Pincher was there, and this is like the Dallas crowd, right? Start getting loud. And genuinely, I think, like, if it wasn't for me, nobody would have gotten loud until, like, Stu, the announcer, shows up, which is only, like, grand finals. But I was able to get, like, top 8. I start yelling for no reason. And, like, the energy is just, like, rising and rising and rising. It got to the point where we got louder than Melee during grand finals. Right? Like, it takes training.
Are you talking about Low Tide 23? Did that happen in 23?
Yes.
Because I remember 24, we blew Smash out of the water.
Oh, yeah. No, 24, we were in the other room, like that tiny little room. Oh, yeah. Like, Smash was sad. It was depressing how small Smash was.
That was incredible because you're talking about that. And I really think back to, I'm pretty sure it was Low Tide 24 earlier last year. But yeah, no, exactly like you said, like Smash, that was once so loud. Splatoon, the entire crowd is losing it over it. Everyone in the venue is looking at it here. And I don't know, I think that's awesome because you are a man of hype.
I want to correct something. The whole story I just said was Low Tide 2022.
That makes sense. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
23, we're in the small room. 24 is massive.
24 is massive.
That was like close to Riptide scale. But yeah.
Yeah.
H-Town is just so
goes back
Go on, Storm here. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it goes back to like what Pepe was saying with making the event memorable. Because like before I ever went to a LAN, I was always like interested in CS:GO esports and just watching like the huge arenas. And you see like the 5 guys walk up there, and there's just thousands of people just yelling at them. You can't even hear what they're saying if they try to talk or anything like that. And when you first sit at a LAN, most of the time it's like you're playing, and it's like, I mean, the only difference is I'm here with physical people instead of just on the TV screen, which is a huge difference. But once you sit behind a desk and people are looking at you and yelling and reacting to the game in front of you, it's like, bro, I felt like I just...
Let's talk about Shiny real quick. Like, if you ever watched Shiny play during the Cherry Limeade era, so loud, so much
I have
yelling.
toned it down since then. Yes. But this game is fun. How do you play? How do you do Bobby weave from a fight there? You're getting shot by from 2 different angles. You drop behind a wall and you super jump out to a teammate and then you crossfire. Like, how is that not hype? Like, I don't understand how people don't go like whenever they jump out of a fight that they just barely miss getting shot by. Like, I don't understand how people aren't louder at this game. Obviously, locking in is a good thing, but this game is so chaotic and this game is so wild. You gotta be loud.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. No, and I think for me, a huge inspiration was watching Koshin. I don't know if y'all ever watched the Koshin streams, the Turf War tournaments in Japan. It's huge crowd. There's over 1,000 people in that crowd, and they got the thing that they hit together, like those balloon things, and they got they do the ready go. Okay, I wanna talk about this, but every LAN that I've been to, I'm the guy that starts the ready go. I'm the guy that starts the ready go.
Yep, you are.
Really?
If you've ever been to a major LAN,
Big House was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I did it in Riptide 23. I started the crowd 24. I did it again.
Oh my goodness.
The Ready Go was inspired by the Koshin commentators, where they get that huge 1,000-person crowd and they go, "Ready, go!" And it's just we need that. Where's that energy here? Why are North Americans so shy and quiet?
Yeah.
This isn't golf. This is esports, video games.
It's so I think Dio, I think you put it correctly. And honestly, if you look at the trailers too, just to throw it back a little bit to the trailers that we saw at the overhead. Pepe, you focus on the community. You focus on the people that we have here. That's what you do as a person. You are a fantastic community builder. You are a fantastic tournament runner as well. But I feel you very much specialize in being a people person. Yeah. Whereas Dio, the amount of Game 5 sets that you showed in that trailer,
can we talk about that whole? Yeah,
I
really
would
want
love to talk about those sets. Those sets.
Please.
Oh my god.
At the last
okay. Let's talk about the history of H-Towns, okay?
Yeah.
So we've had 2 successful H-Towns at this point. Number 2 and number 3.
Out of how many? Oh,
3. We've hosted 3 so far. So number 4 is here in a week. Here in March.
No more Tuesday LANs for you.
Yeah. No
for anyone.
Yeah. So we don't talk about number 1. That was the winner of number 1. Just to put it on the record, that was Mickey Mart. So I'm gonna start giving a little bit of history with all the teams that I talk about, because there was a developing rivalry. So Mickey Mart, they won Genesis. They're hot off their Genesis win. Genesis 10 or 11. I think it was 10.
It was 10 with Pepe on board.
Yes, it's me.
Pepe was on there. I forgot about that.
I was there.
Completely forgot about that. So Pepe was a part of the original squad.
I was the first Mickey Mart. I was part of the first Mickey Mart tournament. Yes.
Right. That's right.
But then
that was Pepe, Pincher, Len, and Erito.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I right?
No cooler.
Okay.
Correct.
No cooler.
Yeah.
No
cooler.
So they won. They're sweet off their Genesis win. They show up to H-Town number 1. It's Pincher, Len. That's the main Mickey Mart group. And then for number 1, it was also Stormy, Joe, and Delta. Okay, and this is Delta Diff on social medias. Yeah, so I'll talk about this picture here in a second on who's who, but that was for number 1. Number 2, that's where this picture comes from. H-Town number 2, Mickey Mart also won that. Okay, Mickey Mart also won that. So in this picture, left to right, we have Joe on the left, and Stormy's above him. We have Pincher below, and then to the right, we have Erito, and then Len all the way on the right. So that was the squad for number... Oh, wait. Yeah, no, this is number 2. Mm-hmm. I'm right on this. This is number 2.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was the squad that won. Now let's talk about their adversaries, because Mickey Mart at number 2 had some adversaries. We had our boy Storm here from Arkansas. Okay.
Can I say? So
you want to introduce your team?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go.
We don't have a picture of them, but the team
Oh,
was me, Parachu, the other guy from Arkansas.
Oh, Para.
Phenomenal pen player. And then Brave from Houston, and just a goated Splash. and Pika. Now, Pika is the one that lost to Mickey Mart in Big House 10 or right?
Genesis X.
Genesis X, yes.
Genesis
That's right. It lost in Genesis X. And so the first thing Pika does, like the very first scrim we have as a team is, all right, guys, so Mickey Mart's going to be there and we're going to beat them because I need my win. And I was like, oh, okay, redemption. And so like going into this tournament, that was like our big thing is like, okay, we've got to beat Mickey Mart for Pika. We got to do it for Pika. And so, so we go in there and game 1, we actually win. And it's like, everyone was just thinking like, oh no, Mickey Mart's going to just sweep everyone. We won that. And after that, we just like looked at each other like, okay, we could do this. Now, the rest of the set for that, so we were playing Wiper and we were playing mostly Slosher Deco into it was just regular blaster and then stringer and then two shooters. Now whenever they saw we had the Wiper Slosher, they were like, okay, we're gonna go ahead, and Len wanted to switch to the range blaster to deal with double midline a little better, and it was kind of downhill for us after that. But still, that first experience in that grand final set was like super clutch, and even though we didn't get the win over them, it was like we still felt pretty good with our performance because there was I'll be honest, a bit of a skill difference, and so for us holding at least one game against them, we were all pretty happy for.
Yes. And so that is the introduction to the team named Arklatex, which Storm didn't get into it, but Arkansas, La for Louisiana, and Tex for Texas. That's where the name comes from.
Oh.
For those
Makes
who didn't
sense,
know.
yeah.
Okay, just a little bit of Arklatex lore.
I like that.
And also, just to add to what he was saying, this is H-Town number 2, by the way, just for context. There's also a number 3 that I'm going to get to, but for number 2, Mickey Mart was undefeated the entire tournament. They did not drop a single game until they went up against Arklatex. Arklatex takes game 1 in grand finals, but then Mickey Mart wins the next 3. So Mickey Mart only lost 1 game out of all the games they played the entire day. They won the entire event. So there's some context, because we're going into number 3.
Wait. Before we go into number 3, there's another thing for Arklatex. We almost didn't make it to grand finals because there was a team called Brave got kicked out, and basically Brave. The story behind that team is Brave left them to form Arklatex because Brave was the one who brought us all together, and so they were like, okay, we're gonna name our team name against Brave, and we got to a game 5, and it was a pretty close set. We pulled it out in the end, but going into H-Town 3, it's important. So I'll let Dio take over.
No, this is important. So as a reminder, we have a team called Brave got kicked out at number 2. Completely forgot about the set against them in Arklatex, but they were around. Okay, and that team, the core of it was Woomph, Tormy, and what was his name?
Find it. You got this.
Was Star in that?
Stara! Yeah, Stara. Yes, thank you. Blanking. Yeah, so it was Tormy, Stara, and Woomph. It was those 3. That was their core. And then they kicked Brave out between number 1 and number 2, and then they had Siku join the team. Siku is another local player. And so they were the 3rd place team at number 2. Okay? So now we've met all of our matches. We've met all of our players.
Oh yeah.
Number 3 is coming up. And at this point, everybody is scared of Mickey Mart. Mickey Mart, they didn't play the entire tournament, only lost 1 game at number 2. They previously won Genesis. It was scary. They're a scary team, genuinely. Like, there was a lot of doubt on could any team topple them. Okay? So, at number 3, top 8 starts. Okay? And all the bottom seeds are out. So at this point, there's only 4 teams left. And I don't remember what the 4th team is. My apologies to whoever's team that was. I have a guess, but I don't want to be wrong. But the top 3 teams at this point, with the very hype like Game 5 sets that were all played, because there was 3 Game 5 sets. Okay, 3. We had the top 4 match, which was oh wait, no, sorry, it was just 2 Game 5s.
Yeah, just 2. Yeah,
it was just 2. It was just 2. Yeah, did my math wrong, but yeah, two game back-to-back Game 5s on stream.
So good.
Which was, at first, it was Siku got kicked out versus Mickey Mart, the 3rd seed versus the 1st seed, and so that was a very intense Game 5 because it came down to Siku got kicked out winning. And so to give some context to that team, it's still the Woomph Tormi Stara core. And then they kicked Siku out from number 2 and then added a player named Guwapa. Still to this day, I don't know who Guwapa is. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know any of these like new gen players.
Gotta be an ult. Gotta be an ult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any of these new gen players. So Guwapa, great player, obviously. Never heard of this person prior to H-Town number 3. So they joined the team. And they were playing this whack off-meta comp. They're playing
Yep.
Paintbrush,
which
Wiper.
God.
I forgot the other 2 would be Squiffer and
Junior.
what was the 4th?
Junior.
It was like shooter. This is some random shooter.
You're running double bubble.
Yeah, just Junior.
The junior,
Yeah,
right?
double
Yeah.
Junior. Yeah, yeah. Whack comp. Double
God.
bubble, paintbrush. Don't know what's going on. Stara's running into the Wipers, feeding his ass off. And it was enough. The off-meta comp was enough to take down Mickey Mart, this like titan of a team with all of these accolades. And it was a huge upset. Like, I cannot describe the energy in that room when that happened because it was just disbelief. Like, I really wish we had a crowd cam because Pika, who's sitting in the crowd, who's an Arclitex, who's on the other side of bracket, you know, he's like waiting on winners finals. Pika's just going, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Like, it was just, everybody was in shock. Just shell-shocked by that hype set. Nobody could have believed it. Where did this team come from? Why is Seed 3 taking down Seed 1? Crazy. Craziness. Okay?
That's awesome.
So now Seed 3 needs to go and beat Seed 2, which is Arclitex, which is Pika, which is Storm, Parachu, Brave. Those players all in those few months between number 2 and number 3 were all very competitively active. So Brave and Parachu are on a team together called Magnolia, for those who don't know. They're teammates. They play together all the time. Those 2 players and that team specifically improved a lot over those few months between our events. Like, a lot. And Pika, who's already a very strong player, combining the momentum that Parachu and Brave had as teammates, that with Pika's experience, and Storm, you're just there. I'm gonna be real. You're just there. You're just
I was just there.
You're just there.
You're good. You're good.
Combining those, like that chemistry that they had, genuinely, the showing that they were having, it was like, wow. How are they gonna beat them? How is Arclitex and Siku got kicked out? How are those teams gonna interact? We had no clue. Like, genuinely, it was names that we'd seen before with Arclitex, and then it's this team that supposedly can beat Mickey Mart. It was just like,
Man.
still so much shock and so much confusion that when we went to that grand finals, it was like everybody wanted to know how this was going to turn out. It was like this storyline that nobody could have predicted. Plot twist: Mickey Mart is out. What, so that grand final set, everybody was on the edge of their seat. When I say that everybody was on the edge of their seat, I genuinely mean it. And I was sitting there. I was cameraman at the time because Storm was our cameraman, but he was on stage playing. So it was like I picked up his camera, and it's just like watching this set, trying to see like, oh, who's about to win this set, who's about to pop off, whatever. Try to get that perfect picture. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know myself because it's game 5. Both teams are like going hard at it. And then it goes to overtime, and it's just like, oh my god, there's a chance. And then Architects lost. And CQ got kicked out. The underdogs, they won. Nobody would have seen it coming. Like, this storyline of the underdog team winning, it happened, like, if anyone's been to one of the larger lands, the Riptides, the LTC 24s, you know that underdog story happens very often with a certain team that has to do with the moons and the light that comes from it. Everybody cheers for Moonlight. Like, on my camera, you can see I have the Moonlight flag, like right there. It's been hidden the whole time. Like, everybody loves the underdog story. And that happened at H-Town, which I don't think there's any other lands where we can talk about stories that, with that much excitement and hype and, that gets the crowd going like, what is going on? Pepe, do you have any stories from the teams at your events? Because I have a feeling you do. You've run a lot of events at this point.
I'm very, very glad you asked, because I think Shiny will be able to explain this so much better. But just to run it off real quick on your end, Dio, because it's insane. Like, me and Shiny, real quick, we were out doing another friend gathering for that search, and then we saw Shiny pulled up the stream, and as we were doing a Sunset Search hangout, we were watching that set going on, with the paintbrush, and seeing that happen live was wow. I kudos for H-Town having such entertaining and and this is what I'm saying, such a hype overall set, and these were the winners there, but god, yes.
This is the winners of H-Town number 3. This is CQ got kicked out.
I have a core memory of sitting on my roommate's weird, oddly too high chair, and I was sitting there with my feet kicking off the ground, and we were talking. I'm trying to I'm trying to enjoy this conversation that we're all having. It's really we're playing this awesome game. But I have my phone down here on the couch, being that's cool, because it's my teammate peek out, that's my student there. They're fire. I just I love I have so much. There's so much going, so much that I want to back for this team here. And then I'm watching the whole time, and I'm like, Pepe, they're in game 5.
And I was like, oh.
We were like, we gotta stop what we're doing right now, and we gotta watch this. It was, I don't think I've seen a more hype set. Congratulations again to the winning team there. My heart goes out truly to Storm. You.
Yeah, I was about to say, Storm's been sitting here talking about how he lost.
I think it's funny because we had the last counter pick because we had won 2 matches, and then they had won a couple matches afterwards, and so we were like, okay, well, we have to play Rainmaker because the counter pick rules. And so I was trying to think of a counter to Paintbrush because that was our main issue. And so I just went, okay, Museum, it's kind of open in the middle, not even thinking about the spinner on our side of the map. And then they get the first objective and they break that first check, and I'm like, where's the Paintbrush? And just
That's so, Tormy being a menace.
Yeah, exactly. And Tormy's the one in the pink and blue there. But I think that win is so deserved on their end because they fought tooth and nail to make that thing work.
It was a really fun match, and they're playing off meta
And again, and going into the next one for you guys in H-Town, I mean, there's just the same people, right? Same
number
teams,
4,
similar people,
number 4. There's a lot of playback sets. I'm just gonna say.
I'm so excited.
Number 4 is gonna be
for the most part.
Yeah.
There's only one substitution. Storm, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. The only difference is So we didn't know if Pika was going to be able to make it to this event, and so just because with school schedule and all that, and so Dio and I had already been talking for a while that eventually I need to get off the game and be able to film the entire event, because it's hard to play the game and then film at the same time, because if I'm not playing, then I have to be filming, and then vice versa. And then you miss moments as well, because if you're playing while another set's going on and something hype happens over there, it's like, good luck. So instead of Arclitex, we're gonna have a Brave Little Toaster, and that's gonna be the same 3 Brave, Para, and Pika. And then Pika's old teammate Toast is going to be coming in.
Toast is coming?
Toast
is going there, really? All right. Oh, Dio, you're cooking up an amazing land, bro. Oh my god.
Dude, like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I genuinely, when I saw that Toast, was like, wait, isn't this like the. He was on Azure, right? Shiny, please. Yeah, okay. He was on Azure. And then he was on Sonder after, because I remember him from Sonder.
Yeah, Sonder. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? That's insane! Like,
that's gonna be high,
I know
bro.
that there's
dude.
a lot. There's a lot of high-level players in Texas that haven't shown up to H-Town yet. There was a Jackpot member. We won't talk about him, but there was a Jackpot member in Texas, and this is prior to everything. I was like hoping to entice them to come down.
Yeah.
And then there's another player that I really want to get their attention, which is Bagel. Bagel lives in Houston, and I know that.
Houston.
And
wow.
Yeah, bro hasn't shown up yet.
Waiting for the big moment. Apparently not for this one. But yeah, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, talk about people who like are good and who you didn't know. Well, I guess you knew about Bagel. I didn't know until this most recent LAN that Plopor from Healthy Diet Food Groups that lives in my state. Lives 20 minutes, no, 10 minutes away from me. That way. I'm happy that you know of their players, because that surprised me. I'm like, I'm pretty good at my state here. Sibo's here. You know, we got Pepe here. You got, and then Flopper is here. And I'm like,
and Flopper,
yeah, Flopper's so cool. But sorry.
Oh, he's awesome.
No. I completely get that. I was always aware that there were a lot of high-level players, even throughout the years. Just because I kind of picked up on it. I would see some of them in like some of the local regional servers. Like some of them were in the Texas servers, some of them were here and there. They were like, and so I always just like pay attention to that. I was like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, like Texas and the Texas region has a lot of talent. It really does, and the neighboring states has a lot of talent. And I'm just so ecstatic that we're able to get this crowd to show up and make the event even more exciting, because it'd be one thing if it was like, I would say like the lower, not high level players showing up and it was like more local, and like there would still be energy, but it's just not the same when it's like people who are good that would show up to major lands and have good results. But now they're fighting each other in the smaller arena. It's almost like exhibition matches.
Yeah.
Almost. Like that's kind of the way that I see it. It's just like exhibiting the talent that is in this region. And it generates a lot of hype. And with how I am, I put my hype into it, and it just escalates to bigger energy levels. So
Dio, I want to bounce off that for a second, right? Because you talked about like, yes, Texas is a much bigger state, hence you get, you also just have a much better, a bigger population of more experienced comp players. Arizona, we are smaller in all ways. We are a smaller state than Texas. We have a smaller scene than Texas does. Almost always. I'll get back to something like that.
We are bigger in the important ways.
We have bigger hearts.
Fellas, size does not matter.
You're so true.
Yep.
Getting back to what I was trying to say, though, one thing that I really pride myself as being a part of this local scene is I try my best to be a mentor. I try my best to like give knowledge. I want to like make knowledge as accessible as possible. And for the longest time, I was doing just coaching for free, just because I wanted to like get people better. Because like the better way to get more top level players is just to get them into the first place, build them up from the ground up. And you guys are talking about your hype matches, and that is awesome. I just wanted to bring up one tournament that really sticks out to me in particular, where I have a particularly fond memory of. And that was Sunset Surge Blossom Blitz, which happened April 6th of 2024, 2 days after my birthday, which was kind of fun here. So that was a fun little, I can celebrate my birthday with Splatoon people. But for that tournament, for me, I wasn't planning on attending. I was planning on being like, like I don't have like my usual squad, or like I was like, all the other people who like I'm gonna play with, like they have their squads. Who's the ranch drinker? That's me. Hi.
Johnny right there.
I've been known to do that sometimes. It's good for you. But I'm talking with some of these people, some of my friends, some of my old teammates and everything. It's me, Taro, or I guess teammates from former Sunset Surges. It's me, Taro Crow, Wumbo, and Leche. And we're just like talking to the VC. We're like, yeah, our team fell through. Yeah, my team fell through. Yeah. We're like, wait a second, we may have a team here. And I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool, because I'm like, now we finally have a squad. So we name ourselves We're So Back. And among the other teams in this tournament here, I love Sunset Surge so much, because like all of my friends, all of my close friends, and just are on teams and everything. My roommate is on his own team. And that's like a whole hype squad. And then on another team is the players Fufu, M, Rice, and OBT. And I'm homies with OBT. We have a background in high school music together. Rice, I mean, do I need to say more? I've coached the man. I'm just friends with him for so long. M, I've known with like since before the first Sunset Surge. And Fufu is a rather interesting case, because they will go on to become my partner, but not this time. And it's a really awesome, it's so cool, because like all of like these, I don't know, I don't think there's ever been a tournament where the power level has been just on average flat across all the teams just the same. And it was an incredible tournament, because just being able to like face against all these people who I've talked with, who I've coached, and like being able to see like everyone's improvement as they've gone over time, it was just incredible. But I think what really stood out was people were expecting, my team to win We're So Back, because I'm on it and everything. Winners finals, we end up going to a game 5 situation. Correct. And Fufu's team, Fufu M, OBT, Rice, they end up beating us in a game 5. And that was like, everyone's like, what? Like, they're good players. They've gotten real good real fast. And I remember getting knocked out into losers, and I'm like, oh dude, I'm pissed. Like, I'm so happy for them. But like in that moment as a competitor, I'm like, oh, like, and just I don't know, but that one, like, winners finals match where we got knocked out, that was so awesome, because from that moment on, I'm like, okay. And I sit down with my team, and I'm like, okay, we're talking strats, we're doing this here, and I'm like passing information, and everybody on my team is just bouncing around ideas, and like we're working with our comp, which by the way was something like Pen, Undercover Brella, Slosher, and I think Carbon, and we make a weapon change. We play for the grand finals set, which we end up getting past my roommate DJ's team. I feel a little bad, because I remember walking up before that and being like, DJ, I'm pissed, is what I said to him. And then I walked over to him and sat up and we played. And that was a very, very, very fun match. But going to grand finals, it was me on Pen, Undercover, and then 52 and Slosher. And it was such a fun time being able to like play with these players who like I've coached, they're all my friends and everything, going against the people across from me who I love each and every one on that team. And I've never had a more personal game of Splatoon ever. I've never had a more like high Q set of Splatoon in my life than that set was. And it wasn't like, they're good players, but like it's not like, Len, Arito, Mickey, Mark, big punchers, or anything. But like it was, I think, just the epitome of like what happens when local versus local happens. And to me, that was just probably one of my best memories of just this tournament series as a whole. Just being able to just scrap with local people by my side, and giving Undercover Brella a win. Just
the grudge
barely.
Matches that these
the
events
grudge
are making are
it was like a game. Yeah. Oh,
dude,
was
it doesn't happen in majors.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. No,
It doesn't.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
And
Because
Dia, what inspired me to talk about this here is just you talked about the storylines that go into it, and that's what esports is all about. It's all about the storylines. I love that you and Storm just set it up so well, and I want more of that too. I want more storylines. That's why I play this game. That's why I go to all lands that I do, and that's just one storyline that sticks out to me the most here.
Yeah. Which is why, like, real quick, I was shocked. Like, I kid you not. Like, I was extremely shocked when I saw the name, like, Tormy signed up for this upcoming Sunset Surge, right?
Yes!
Because I was like, wait a minute, hold on. They won they won the last huge H-Town, right? I'm like, oh no, this is the paintbrush, man. So like seeing these storylines happen, right? Like all in correlation, and now we're getting to a point to where like we're seeing those teams together. We were seeing storylines, connect in a way that's like this is like fucking MCU when it was good, right? Like we see these
so
players
real.
The Avengers of Splatoon.
like we are assembling these locals, and then we're fighting. Like that's what I'm looking for, just truly. Which we'll get more into that like later on. But like, yeah, Shiny, I remember how much it meant for those three players that you played with, Thero, Wumbo, Ledge. Like these are people that like, prior to my knowledge, have now won a LAN. I doubt they won a LAN, and the fact that like they ended up like winning that LAN meant a lot to them. And it's just that kind of thing to where like, well, yes, like in our case, for the Blossom Blitz, we were like still like around the 30 attendee like mark, but for us like it becomes special because those players who may not be expected, which is really a sad thing to say. Like if you don't if you don't put yourself out there, right, for like tournaments, like hey, I won this, I won that, no one's gonna really know much about you. But having the opportunity to like showcase at a local LAN, especially like for ours that we are like now building up to be like bigger than what they originally were. These players just having the chance to feel that excitement, to feel that first place, that while it may not be impossible, it's just harder to get that at majors. And that's like one of the things, like if you are close, if you feel like you're getting there, perhaps at majors or anything like that, or maybe like in the online tournaments, show up to a local, see how you do in a situation where you play at a LAN against these other well-known players that are also strong. Like show up and then see how it goes, because you may get yourself that kind of victory that you feel.
Yeah, it's an otherworldly feeling. No one wins the game alone. You cannot carry. I'd say in solo queue, like you can do your best to carry, but like in a comp setting, you can't. You can do your best, but like all four players have to win for the team to win, and it was just so deserved that everybody who won on that team fought so hard, stayed in it. Their mental game was strong. Everything about it, they were strong to the end. And I gotta hand it off to honestly all winners so far. And anyone who shows up, it takes so much like it takes so much it's not confidence. What's the right word I'm looking for? It takes just a lot to even show up to a local tournament, in the first place. So yeah, I think that is a really cool thing you wanted to mention. And we talked about the LAN Championship Showdown. So Pepe, do you want to talk a little bit more about that by chance?
Well, is there anything else that you guys want to bring up,
Yes.
like within your LANs,
might.
before we talk about the big deal?
I might. So
Okay.
there's another aspect to our LAN that I think is rather unique to any other of the local LANs, and that is our collegiate bracket. So,
Dude, I'm so jealous. Oh, sorry. Oh God, I'm
jealous.
jealous. Please go on. Oh man,
I
how
think
to
we are the only local to host collegiate brackets, and I honestly hosted this one out of spite because I was pissed that LTC didn't have one and Riptide did, because all of the Texas collegiate schools just there's so much energy in these Texas schools. Like I don't know if y'all realize. University of Texas at Dallas has a very legacied CCA program. for Splatoon program at their university. They were there very early on. UT Austin has also similar story, a little bit smaller in size, but there's a lot of like hype when it comes to them showing up because it's University of Texas at Austin. Like I don't know if anybody else knows, but UT Austin is like a huge deal. Like it's Longhorns, right? Come on, college football. If anybody follows up with that. And then there's A&M, also college football, that popped up in 2024 with like they have 3 teams I think now. They're huge. 4 teams, 3 teams. And then, of course, University of Houston, which is local, but also, founded by me, who last year had 4 teams. We were massive. Getting all of those players together and all of the teams together was just so special. And there's a rivalry between all of those teams at this point. And I like to say that I contributed towards that rivalry. A fun fact, just for those out there, H-Town number 3 fell on the same day as A&M versus the UT Longhorns, college football. Fell on the same exact day, and then we also had this collegiate side bracket going on. And so that set that was on stream, that was played out, had more to it than you realize. Because it was the A&M and the UT players going at it, because there's a huge rivalry with the college football. Okay, sports balls fan know that. And even this week, this is the first week of the CCA. Guess what? The varsity UH team is facing UT, and it's just like, and then they're gonna show up again in person the following week. I think like these local events create this opportunity to invite like the local universities should like duke it out, because they're gonna duke it out in the CCA anyways. But getting that in-person like collegiate experience and just being able to put those players together, it might not gather as much attention as the grand finals of the main bracket, where you have big names that everybody can recognize and be like, I know those people. They have results and accolades that we can all talk about. But for the collegiate, it's just special. It's just really special. And we talk about esports and how Splatoon is an esport. Gotta do the storylines and everything. Regular sports has that with like collegiate sports. So yeah, just saying. I just wanted to share the collegiate experience, because I do think when you're talking about storylines and everything, being able to relate Splatoon to traditional sports is kind of a big deal, in my opinion. I don't know. Because one of these days, we're going to keep hosting these events, keep having these collegiate brackets, and we might get picked up by like a newspaper, a local newspaper that's like, hey, gaming between universities. I've seen it happen, and other, I'm pretty sure like Purdue and stuff like that, they've had publications done over their stuff. And keep this track going, we might have something really special when it comes to collegiate stuff. So
that's one thing
That's
that I'm
awesome, Dio.
so
That's like one of
happy
the main things that I will forever be very, very jealous of. Because I remember the times when like I contacted my college team, the college teams here in Arizona, and they weren't like that active at all. So, like there's something going on, but like not as much as like how you're doing over there, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, especially when my friend, my teammate David, like he appreciates that. Like there has been a time where like David, like DRF, the main the guy, like the CCA guy, he's awesome, but he truly like does appreciate just what you guys do in H-Town in terms of like CCA, because CCA is huge. It deserves all the praise that it gets, because it's all a lot of work, a lot of passion, and it's just great. Really good to see.
I'm forever so sad that first off, my college, I'm in my final semester of my graduate degree, so there goes my chances of playing at CCA. The college that I go to, ASU, doesn't have a Splatoon esports program. It has plenty of Splatoon players, but there's no organized Splatoon scene. Which you're right, and I found out about CCA too late, and I want to find a way to pass on a torch because I know if we're gonna talk about sports ball rival schools, right? Like the ones down south, who I'm not going to mention, they have a team, but ASU here, the bigger college, doesn't have a team. And I could have done something about that, but I missed the mark. So I'm hoping to see, honestly, more collegiate stuff because, like you said, it's the storylines. And to have so many teams from those colleges show up there, I'm just so happy for y'all over there in Texas because I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
And that's just how you make good esports right there. That's how you make just good content to watch. No, but Pepe, yourself?
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot about our local land, right? So there are storylines that happen like left and right, and like if you are living under a rock, there's something huge going on. Like I'm not just talking like huge, like oh we'll do another land, right? There is something huge that is happening, and Kraken, our producer, if you may showcase what that is.
We've had plenty of great Splatoon locals that took place in 2024, spanning all across the United States. Champions have been crowned from coast to coast, the Great Lakes, and the South. These winners, however, never had an opportunity to face each other. What if in 2025, we took this to the next level? Introducing the Splatoon LAN Championship Showdown, a tournament where the winners of our favorite locals can face off in an online 8-team double elimination tournament. The best part is, you have an opportunity to play. In the early months of 2025, 8 locals will act as qualifiers for the LAN Championship Showdown, including Big Dapple in New York City, New York.
The game!
Bouillabaisse in San Jose, California. Chai Shoals in Chicago, Illinois. Gatorland in Gainesville, Florida.
It's just, it's a wipeout, and that might be 8 points.
H-Town Splashdown in Houston, Texas. New England in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, they fell off the Oh my god!
Sea Battle in Seattle, Washington.
It's a wipeout!
Sunset Surge in Arizona. Win at one of these locals, you get an automatic bid to participate in the LAN Championship Showdown in April 2025, streamed on Splatoon Tourney. Be on the lookout for advertisements from the local closest to you regarding their qualifier. Who will come out on top?
Who will come out on top indeed, you say?
Who is going to?
Look at
Man.
these fools, they don't got any weapons. You're supposed to be playing Splatoon.
I'm hitting my own
He's ready.
teammate.
Wait a second. Wait.
Oh shoot! Oh,
I got the NZAP, bro.
I'm giving you a back massage, Shiny.
Okay.
So, who will come out on top is the biggest question of the year, really, right? Like, we see all these locals happening, Sunset Surge in H-Town being the main focuses of today, but, so, I just really want to know, guys, from your perspective, who is going to win? I want to know your guys' opinion.
Bro.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can we take a look at the winners real quick so far?
True, that's true.
This is important information that must be reported right this instant.
That is true. A live report.
Yes.
Who has?
Here. Let me. Frankly, looking at the Splatoon tournament here. Okay. So the first one, right? Let's talk about the first one. That was Gatorland. That happened on the 15th of February, right? So we're already like kicking off here quite strong, if I do say so myself. We're talking about specifically for me, like the one person that comes to mind is Henlo. I mean, if you haven't heard about Henlo, like you have not seen any high competitive like Splatoon yet. So my little Henlo comes out here with a cast of check here. So there's Henlo, so someone needs Splat, Lex, and that kid. Thank you, Kraken. Oh, thank you. So like having these players be the first qualifiers is insane.
One thing that, if you guys are in tune with the competitive scene, Henlo is a again, if you know competitive, you know about the Plus server. Plus is a good ranking. It's a nice, it's a good approximate level of skill of how good a player is. If I'm not mistaken, both Henlo and Lexi are both +1 players, and then Splat and Datman, I believe, are +2, if not at the same level as their teammates as well. So we already have a team just a power team that I was not expecting to see at all. Talk about players coming out of the woodwork, right? Like this is a solid team that I'm so excited to see. You know, well, hey, hold on, hey.
Oh wait, hold on, wait.
Wait, Pepe.
Don't tell the six shine.
That's a. I just,
okay,
I love.
Thank you, Kraken. Thank you.
Okay,
Get him right now.
Wait, there's a contact. Thank you for instigating here, Kraken. A very, very powerful team is what I was trying to say. Right off the bat. Yeah. Do we have the winners of Chai Shoals? Yes, the winner of Chai Shoals.
Yes, we do.
And Shy Shoals here. So Shy Shoals that happened, I think, if I recall correctly, last week, right? So
February 26th.
Aircast is Leo, a bamboo player, and then 2 Tetra players. So we're talking about a team who is yes, their comp is literally bamboo, 2 Tetras, and a junior or splash. So like we're talking about a team who is coming to the qualifier, nationals, with a comp of 2 Tetras, which that's
I don't think
cool.
they play double Tetra though.
Okay.
But they have
the
2 Tetra
capacity
players.
to play 2 Tetras.
Yes. Correct.
Oh
So
my goodness.
I wanted to bring up the current winners, the current teams that we know so far, and it's those 2 teams that we know of that are going to be representing their locals. And the Gatorland team looks really scary. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like,
it does.
When I saw their names, I was like, I know Henlo. I don't know these other people. So I asked a buddy of mine. I was like, who are these people? Like, help me out. Help me connect the dots here. They're like, dude, these are really good players.
These are good players.
Out of the Gatorland. And then, Chai Shoals, no disrespect to them, but the Gatorland team just looks really scary. And so when I look at all of the other regions, and I think, okay, who's going to Bouillabaisse, right? Pepe, would you like to talk a little bit about the Bouillabaisse attendees? Because
well,
you're
for
one
me,
of them.
I'm literally tomorrow. I'm gonna to take a flight. Tomorrow, I'm taking a flight to do Bouillabaisse. So
is it
yes,
7 a.m. flight?
it is a 7 a.m. flight.
Oh my goodness, that sounds fun.
It'll be fun. So
it's gonna be fun.
Okay, for Bouillabaisse, right? Like Bouillabaisse, I thought was gonna be stacked already, having Luna and 5th gen with +2, right? So it comes out that apparently our boy Blob is gonna be playing with Eevee, who they're gonna be our teammates with me and Shiny for Arizona. They'll be playing with Fusion, which is with an amazing name, Healthy Diet Fuse Groups, like absolutely like creative, like amazing name there.
And their fourth is Ziff, by the way, another member of Healthy Diet Food Groups
Yes.
as well.
So 3 members of Healthy Diet, like it's absolutely incredible. So, and for me, I'm very very happy. Like I'm gonna be able to have a chance to play with Fufu and with my teammate Brian, with Chrono. So like I'm really going there to like really just do my best, give it my all. We'll see what happens. Like I will make sure to do what I do. But I will say like there's another team that I'm looking at right now that is kind of scary, a little bit, a little scary. So we're looking here. No Boys Allowed is the team name. Nico from Liar. Iridia is coming back. Sorry, Nico from Liar, Iridia, and Muti is coming back from the last Bouillabaisse, which shoutouts Shiny, David and Brian, which we were swept. That was amazing. So
Yeah.
we have these players with Helix from former DNA
What?
and Clefapig, all
What?
five-member roster there. So I mean, that's another scary team if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I took a look at this earlier because I was curious as well, because I knew we were going to talk about this. And I saw the names, and I'm like, dude, this is another stacked team.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely insane. The level, the caliber of teams that are coming out to this event. And so then looking past Bouillabaisse, looking at H-Town, which is the next one on the list, we are the fourth qualifier.
Yes.
You know, we have Mickey Mart, which we know it's Mickey Mart. We know how strong they can be. However, this isn't the same Mickey Mart that won Genesis, right? You know, Stormy is in that roster. Pincher is since retired, and it's just a very different team. I don't think Erito is even playing in this one. And so, you know, they're missing their key players. And then, you know, we also have Siku got kicked out, which won the previous one. But when you compare the caliber of players from Siku that got kicked out to the caliber of players that are already winning their qualifiers, yeah, a bit of a gap from experience, at least. Just putting it that way, you know, from experience. And so, what is the only other team from H-Town that has known, proven experience? Well, that would be Pika and Toast, right? Because Brave and Parachu are great players, a lot of chemistry, plus Pika and Toast, which is, you know, they
I'm looking
have,
forward to that.
yeah, they have what it takes to be able to make it in, you know, into the LAN championships and actually put up a good fight against these other bigger names that are coming from Bouillabaisse, that are coming from Gatorland. And I haven't looked ahead into what comes next after H-Town Splashdown, but like, dude, like the New York region is just scary.
So New York is scary, yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's just so much
The
in the
region
East
is-
Coast.
yeah.
There's just so much in the East Coast. Like, there's just no clue what will come out of that. So it's gonna end up being a really stacked tournament. The LAN championships. It's just gonna end up being like the best players from every region coming together to, like, you know, to put up a show, really. Like, we're talking about all of these storylines and everything like that. And I think the LAN championship is going to create some phenomenal storylines that a regular online tournament would never have made, or a major would never have made.
Yeah.
The thing that this reminds me the most of is, if you guys remember at the start of Splatoon 3 with the Ink TV Resurgence League, and how much hype and excitement there was around that. The LAN championships feels like the next thing after that that's going to have the same level of energy for the community. Maybe that's just a biased take. Maybe that's just me speaking because I'm one of the TOs and I'm more in the loop. And people who aren't showing up to these events are like, why do I care? Why do I care about these, you know, local events and their teams? But, like, we're going to see the matches come up during the LAN championships, and we're all going to see just the level of excitement that's going to come out of that. And, you know, all of the game fives and the names and the stories that are going to come out of that. That, to me, is just extremely exciting.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I know I love Splatoon. I've put so much work. I've just put so much into the game as a whole. And Pepe was talking about this beforehand. I think he's going to touch on it soon later. But like, we're all busy people. I myself, I'm a fairly busy person. Pepe has been known to, you know, run all the events. That being said, we have all been doing everything we can to practice for Pepe's first ever Sunset Surge as well. Pepe
Yes.
will be playing in his event for the first time ever. With
See what happens.
me, it'll be me, Pepe, Blop, and Evie from Healthy Diet Food Groups. As under the name Prickly Pear. That's us there. Look at those cuties. But yeah, no, I hear that. This is Comp Splatoon is such an important thing to me since I surged March 29th. Go register right now. It's such an important thing to me, and I cannot
And
tell
it
you the
counts.
motivation that I felt like leading up to this tournament, and just the hype that I feel right now. H-Town Splashdown happening. When do you guys
March
happen again?
8th.
March 8th.
You can
Register.
literally-
Literally
March
a
8th.
week in 2
Uh,
days.
So hype.
No, but like it's I don't know. It means so much to me, and the hype that I have surrounding this entire season leading up to the LAN Championship Showdown, no win is a write-in. I will keep practicing my absolute ass off. Pepe and I are going to be doing what we can, with the hopes of being able to make it in as well, because I really want to scrap with these big names.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I want to see, like, we've been talking about, like, Texas and Arizona, which you all know who wins that. I mean, clearly Arizona.
Arizona.
Like, there's so much that, like, I see in terms of, like, storylines and people's, like, rivalry. They're, like, that I touched on this beforehand with, like, having Dio coming in with Tormy and, like just the Texas people are invading Arizona. Like,
Yes.
that is something that's, like, I would have never thought the day would come.
I'll be there
and,
soon, Dio. We'll be there soon.
and because it's happening,
we're gonna
it's
try
like,
to kick
man.
y'all's asses.
Ugh.
Steal your spot.
And then we're gonna try to go to a future H Town. Whenever that happens, like me and Shiny have been talking about it. Like, there'll be a day where Shiny and I will travel to H Town,
Oh yeah.
It'll happen.
play with Pika, and it'll be good.
Yeah, this is a thought I had the other day, and it would be the ultimate disrespect if I show up to Sunset Surge and make sure that you can't get the qualifying spot.
Dude, please,
All
give
motivation.
that show to us. Please, give that show to us. I dare you. Like, if anything, I'm gonna beg you, like, on my knees, be like, Dio, you fucking try your hardest. Don't back down. We are here to prove ourselves, and I feel like that's just part of it, right? Especially, like, if there's a good show, like, bring that hype bring that hype H Town game 5 sets to us. And not that we don't, because we have, but, like, just the amount of hype that, like, you get from H Town, like, it's absolutely insane. So I want to
Yeah,
feel
I'll
that
make
too.
your boring little event exciting a little bit.
All right, buddy.
All right, okay, all right.
Yeah, sure thing.
Little
Not
Yeah.
scuttle
Look at the
looking
cool new venue.
delicious.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so awesome.
Oh, yeah. We do have a good venue, new venue.
Yeah, new venue.
I'm interested to see. It's in a college campus, right?
It is. It is part of. I mean, am I allowed to talk about this? Are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay,
It
yeah.
should be public information.
It is the a newly created ASU Esports Lounge, right in the middle of Tempe, Arizona. Hopefully a lot more accessible for people. There is a parking structure literally directly attached to the building. It is a massive room. Probably I would give it nowhere close to what you guys have at H Town.
Yeah. Our venue's
Because
huge.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
your
I
room-
would say I would compare it to, like, maybe half the size of, like, the Riptide 23 room. It's long, it's fairly sizable, but it is built for spectators in mind as well. Which is the
Absolutely.
hope. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. As opposed to Campfire, which was very awesome, but we very much have outgrown
Sardines
Campfire.
Yeah.
all
We were
together.
sardines.
No,
that was
we
a
made
fun
jokes
time.
about this, but our venue is literally bigger than the LTC 23 room.
Dude,
How
that's
tiny that was.
insane.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Our venue is
And
much bigger
I
than
don't-
that space.
At a mall too, which I never expected that kind of a space to be
A
like inside a
mall?
mall. Like, what the heck?
It's an older, like, rundown mall. I won't say it was. Yeah, like, I won't say ghetto,
Yeah.
but close to it, ghetto adjacent. Yeah, it's much cheaper mall. They basically took the space that what seems to used to be like a Macy's or something, like some kind of department store. And made all the walls black, put a bunch of tables for TCG in the middle of the room. They have, like, a retail section with a million Funko Pops and, like, collectibles and stuff like that. And then along the side, they have like walls full of monitors, which actually they've even expanded. There's like a back room now where they moved all the esports stuff. So our next event's going to look a little different. The stream won't see it. The stage is still the same, but all of our setups are elsewhere in a different room, which is really cool. Like we get our own space now.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds good.
It's awesome.
Ah.
It's awesome.
It's cool.
The pictures are gonna really show it this time around, because this is our major grievance with our venue. It's just so dark, and like it's too big. It's too big. All the monitors and all the setups are too far apart, so it's like you can't really take pictures of the event that captures like the scope of what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. H-Round number 4, March 8th. Sign up if you haven't already. Sign-ups close in exactly a week from right now. So.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait.
Wait.
That's not right.
So true.
No.
Wait. Let's
Kraken.
change.
This is
No.
spitting facts.
Shall we?
No. Kraken, you put it on the wrong box, bro.
Come on, man.
Spitting facts.
That's a weird way to spell Pepe and Shiny.
Yeah.
I saw that. He opened up the notepad earlier. I'm like, what is Kraken cooking?
This makes me want to like go to this current H-Town, but I know that I'm not going to, unfortunately. But like, God,
Hey, it's not too late to buy a flight. Still got a week.
I won't be able to. Oh,
I won't be able to either.
Yeah, and if Shiny's not going, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take honestly. I'll take second place. Second place.
Thank you, Kraken. Thank you.
Second place is dope.
I don't know. Fufu's been cooking. DA's been cooking. There's gonna be. I don't know if you got second place even.
I'm excited to see our people go against you, Dio.
Yeah.
I'm washed. I'm carried by Para and Tormi and Kama. Actually.
Oh man, that third place, it's just going down.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yes. The DJ team will get you. Oh, but God, we've talked a lot about like the LAN. It's just great. We have been going on like now for like 2+ hours, and there's a lot of details, and like I'm sure like for you, Dio, Shiny, and Storm, there's like a lot more that we could have like talked about in certain like questions and whatnot. But I wanted to bring this out there to you guys. Like, is there something before we close this out, like something that you want to share, just in general about local lands, your experiences, maybe like a favorite moment that you haven't like touched up on?
Dio, want to start us off?
I can start this off.
Yeah, please.
I enjoy yelling. Go figure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I'm a bit quieter now because my family's going to sleep, but I enjoy yelling. I really do. And so this event was an opportunity for me to be able to yell more. Which, like, I know it's silly, but seeing all of the people that show up to the Houston events, the energy that brings me, like, it's so fulfilling. Just like it feels like it's healing. Like, it heals your soul. You leave those events feeling like, damn, it's not just a hype event. It's not just the energy. It's like I'm bringing these people together, and seeing the community that you build is something that like touches your heart in a way that nothing else like is satisfies. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as fulfilling. So it's not, one specific event that I have to share, but just the entire experience of TOing locals overall. It's very special.
Yeah, I think if we were to generalize the entire conversation we've had the past couple hours, it's all been like community based. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like these locals basically turn what is I'm staring at a screen talking with my computer and there's people talking back to me, to I'm staring at a person talking with real people and actually getting human interaction and getting to know that there is a human behind that computer, and there is a human that I am interacting with and get to interact with it and dive deeper into a friendship with. And so I think that's the biggest thing is like just being able to have that connection and build the relationship even more. Because I feel like a lot with like esports and gaming is there's just a barrier that once you meet someone at a LAN or a local, it just breaks. And it's like you just automatically grow closer together. And I think that's my favorite part is like getting someone that I've had 2 conversations with before, and now it's like we spend the weekend together, and it's like we're like almost best buds now, you know? I think that's my favorite part.
I I am looking forward to seeing my friends again. I have been so busy, so busy, and I cannot wait to just see local people again. I can't wait to see, players who I've like seen grow over time. I can't wait to see them show up. I can't wait to see them show off. I can't wait to see all of my students. Like I think I have 3 or 4 students coming out to this tournament. The fact that I am privileged enough to do what I can do to pass on my knowledge, to be able to call myself somebody's coach, like I never thought I'd get this far in comp. That is something that I am just so remarkably lucky. I get to say, I get to call myself a coach for that, for goodness sake. And the fact that I have not one, but multiple of these amazing individuals show up, I get to fight them too, and that's also awesome to see happen. Um, I don't know. I'm excited to see my students. I cannot wait to see how much they've improved from what we've talked about, and I can't wait to see. Um, I just can't wait to see them show up. That's honestly like among everything, that's the thing that steps to my mind the most here.
Yeah, I I agree with you, Shani. And for me, the fact that I am going to now feel what it's gonna feel like when I go against my people now. I've never participated in a Sunset Search ever, so having that opportunity to now like be, hey, I'm not just your TL, but I'm here to compete, and now I'm your enemy. That's just kind of like it's an exciting part, but to be honest, like also a scary part too, because like these are the people that like I've talked to. These are the people that like I've had even hard and deep conversations with, and having the opportunity to go against them, it's gonna be like I know I'm gonna rethink about all the memories that I had with this person as they kill me or I kill them. Like oh like that just even thinking about that is gonna be like amazing. So no other land is gonna be the same just because of that. Just the connections that I have with these people are just so so much stronger that I've had like within any other like major land. And having the opportunity is just going to be amazing. I mean, hell, like just seeing people grow is part of like why I still do this.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like the first few was like of me doing such a search. I was like, yeah, no, this is fun, but like I don't think I'm gonna do this like forever. Like I'm like I truly thought like I'm just gonna do this. It'll be a small thing, and it showed to be a small thing. Like I guess smaller in comparison to like all the other like local like all the local lands that are happening. Like us as a Sunset Search, while we may be like a smaller um condensed community, that's a huge bonus though, because we know each
You get the
other
pride.
a lot more. We have so much pride within like what we do and who we are, and so like seeing people that I am more than happy to call close friends improve. Like specifically, I just want to give a huge shout outs to Sniker Up because he's my main example when I think about seeing someone start off like doing comp and improving to them like winning a tournament that was like albeit like a diff cap, like they're way beyond that diff that they originally thought they were going to be. Now with the team, um, shout outs
Blew
to
it out
Upcurrent,
of the
like
water.
got amazing,
Yeah.
like blew my mind. Like I remember giving him a call that night, just a personal call, and I was like, Rob, I just want you to know, like that I've seen the improvement, and I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. Like simply put, like Rob, you made me proud. And me, as a TO of the States, saying that to someone who, same guy who traveled more than like 2+ hours just there for our land, saying that to him after all the times that he's gone to Sunset Surge, just it felt different. It felt more than just, hey, I see you coming to the event. I feel that close relationship with this person that like I like to call a really really great friend. And yeah, it's it's just great. It's awesome. There's a lot of things that I could say more about that, but that's practically my main highlight of like why I still do. And I'll most likely still continue to do this. In fact, I will continue to do them until I just physically can't. In terms of like whether that being life, life happens, or some other things. But we're for people like us who are now in this era, this new era of Splatoon. So I'm doing like local lands. There is something that is happening within these events that are like kind of like similar to how like Smash like Melee did, like locals and whatnot. That's how like they've gone pretty big. So this is just the beginning of local lands.
This is just the
and
beginning. I don't want to go into another rabbit hole of a conversation, but I just want to put this idea out there.
All right.
Imagine what happens if Splatoon 4 comes out. And we have all these local lands everywhere. Just saying.
We are setting a foundation right now for the
Yes,
future of the scene.
we are.
And oh my god, with that one sentence Dio,
Dude,
Yeah.
like I know we're gonna be racing to be like, oh, I'm gonna like host the LAN like the moment like the game drops, or like maybe you give it like a week or so. I mean, like I don't know what's gonna happen truly, but local LAN's
The
just
game's gonna come out on Riptide again.
yeah, just watch it happen, right?
Do not tell that to Kraken. Oh, our producer will be angry. He's gonna end the stream. he's crying in our ears right now.
I can almost hear his voice now.
Yeah, I think that's like the kind of cool thing is like when you're on the inside, you hear all the conversations that are going on, and like Dio and I have had conversations about like dreaming of what can be and what will be. It's just time that takes. And so I think right now we're at the start of something that is really gonna blow up. I really truly believe. And so I'm just excited to see what happens.
Here's for more LAN champion showdowns in the future. I hope that there are many more like this. In my opinion, this started first with Region Rumble. That's how I first learned about the competitive scene. And from just more and more sprouting up from the SoCal to Booyah Bay to H-Town to Metro Wink has its own thing to like all that until now, until the LAN Championship Showdown, exactly as it said. This has been a slow build up to just the beginning of it. So yeah, I'm intent to hooks. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Arizona's gonna win, Shiny. You know it. Arizona's winning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
H-Town wins.
Sunset Surge. They're gonna win. Oh.
Don't worry, I got. Look, get a drink. Get a drink. Play support. Come on, chill out. Hold your ground.
Wait, Storm, that's what you are. Yeah.
What is the fuck? Yeah.
Oh my
Start
goodness.
throwing the coolers.
Well, Pepe,
Yeah,
I gotta
th-
say,
th-
Dio
thank you so
Storm.
much.
I think it's the first time I've ever actually met the both of y'all, in pseudo face to face. It's been a pleasure here.
It's been wonderful having
really
you guys
No,
here.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Yes, no, thank you for coming too. I mean, there's a lot more, and for those of you that may not know, like, where can the people find you? Oh, and there's a dog.
That's General. That's General the dog.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
Give
General
us a
the
little
dog.
backstory idea on that. Just real quick.
One of our players called Finn, who also is the person who's made all of our flyers. They have an emotional support dog. His name is General.
Oh my God, General.
He's been at all of our events. So we
Oh.
love General.
He's withstood your hype.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, that dog is so polite. It's
Oh.
insane.
You know, Pepe, I can't wait to go and meet General one day. I look
Yeah.
forward to it.
I've been.
We the search have a doggy, and their name is Shiny.
I'm done. No.
Shiny's the dog. We give him like ranch and like we hold ranch and then Shiny's like all like puppy eyes like with the little tongue.
A rabid animal.
The
raccoon
you
going
keep
through
talking,
the
it just
garbage.
sounds worse and worse. Oh my god. Okay. A wolf.
There you go. There you go.
A dog.
So yeah, where could people find you guys?
Yeah.
At H-Town Splashdown in Houston, Texas on March 8th. That's where you can find me. That's where I'll be.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm, what about you?
I was gonna say for real though. Blue Sky is really what I'm on mostly. That and I sometimes upload YouTube stuff. Not often. But General Dash Storm and then 1. That's how you can find me on Blue Sky.
Oh, they're all linked down in the description as our producer just said. Thank you, Kraken.
Well, you can find me at shinypikmin.sunsetsearch.inc, custom tag on Blue Sky, as well as at shinypikmin on Discord and YouTube, where I stream VODs from my tournament matches. If you want to go and watch some cool, gameplay, if you want to watch me come yell at the screen, I do that as well. Yeah, Pepe, yourself?
Yeah, so on Blue Sky, you can find me at pepe.sunsetsearch.inc. And then, of course, you got to follow the at sunsetsearch.inc at Blue Sky, just in general. But yeah, you'll find me there. TL, Splatoon, Splatoon LAN in Arizona. Everyone that's coming in, like, I always tell them it's a pleasure to have you. And I don't mean that lightly. So, guys, go to H-Town. Go to Sunset Surge. It's coming up.
Go to
this
your
March.
local LAN.
Yes, go to your local LAN. That is the best thing that, for all the listeners out there, that's the best thing you can get out of today. Go to your LANs.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I just checked. We hit 60 people just now. So,
Hey!
yeah,
Congratulations! Let's go!
Hype. That's hype, bro. Dude.
That wasn't me. Or was it Pepe? So.
No, it was one of you, I guess. People at home watching, listening.
True. Hold on.
Shout outs to chat.
Oh man. Well, so thank you guys. And of course, a huge shout outs to Kraken for doing all this.
For
Oh, who was it?
Yes,
Was it
thank you,
Brave? No, it was
No.
Yes, Kraken for all the producer stuff that he's been doing, even just right now. Oh,
Great.
huge
Let's
live shout out.
go!
Did you watch the podcast?
Number 60 for H-Town. Shoutouts to Kraken as well for doing production.
Thank you, Kraken.
All these wonderful
Yes,
assistants,
thank
all
you,
these wonderful
Kraken, for
assets,
putting up
everything.
with us
Thank you,
yapping for
Kraken.
2 hours.
Oh man. Which also, real quick, for those of you that don't know, he has the title of being the TO of the biggest Splatoon LAN tournament there is in NA, as far as we know, right? So Riptide last year. Come on, that's the man Kraken right there.
Good shit, Kraken. Good shit, Kraken.
Yes, thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No golf claps. You get loud yelling.
There you go. There you go. Thank you guys. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you
Good.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks for everyone for being here as well.
I'ma go Mimi.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you should sleep. That sounds good. I'm not.
Yes. Good night, you guys. You're not.
Bye.
You should- Oh, who are we rating, Kraken? Hold on, I'm getting. Oh,
Vic?
we're rating Vic Pavilion. Oh,
We're rating Vic?
we're
Hold
rating
on.
Vic, guys.
We're rating.
Oh my gosh.
TZS
No,
raid.
Tell everyone in Vic's chat to go support.
Tell them to
your
go to
local
H-Town.
Go to your
Go to
local
H-Town.
LAN.
Sunset
I
Surge.
want everybody to
Spam
spam.
that.
Go to your local
Spam
LAN.
it. Go to your local lands.
Spam it. Spam it.
Let's go.
Hold on.
I need y'all to spam this.
Let me do it.
Wait. I gotta get ready for this too as well. Hold on. I gotta boot up Twitch as well.
Yeah, hold on.
Wait. Oh, really? What's the way it happens?
YouTube raids.
Oh my god. Twitch bed. Bye, fellas.
Bye.